Okay, I believe we are live, guys, and we are back from a little bit of a hiatus break, whatever you want to call it. Believe it or not, we are alive. It's awesome to be back. Hopefully you can hear me. There will no doubt be some hiccups today, so I apologize in advance for anything that goes wrong today. Hopefully the mic is working. Literally everything has been dusted off as if it's been stored away for a few months, and now we're getting back into the action. So hopefully the mic still works. Hopefully my voice is coming through clearly, and it's so awesome to see so many of you guys coming back in to hang out and chat indie games, something I've missed quite a bit actually over the last couple of months. And it's been the people who I've missed even more so, you know, all of you guys in the chat, and you know, my crew here, Judsy, Baby, and Luke, who I've missed dearly. So I'm very excited to be back doing this, and let's get straight into chatting to let's say Juds first. How have you been, my friend? It's been too long, and has it been a good couple of months, and are you looking forward to get back into this, brother?
Yes, no, and yes. So, it's been a rough few months, honestly. I've not been around so much stuff going on and that, but you know, we're back. I'm very much looking forward to this, and talking some cool indie games with you guys again, and the awesome chat we always have. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't wait to start getting going. See, it's not just the mic on your side, is it? It's clearly my voice is all.
We are all officially.
Speak English.
We have all officially forgotten how to be podcasties.
Someone get me some whiskey, I'll be able to talk properly. Then there you go.
Exactly. Get a few in you, and you'll be all good. And it's all good. We'll, like I say, blow off the cobwebs, and we'll be running in no time. Most definitely, buddy. So thanks so much for being back on for this for 2022, our first show of 2022, guys. Very much excited for this, and awesome to be back with Juds and Luke. And speaking of Luke, how are you doing, brother? How have you been over the Christmas period? I know it's so long ago now, but it's the last time we've had a show. We haven't spoken really much about that kind of thing, but you know, how have you been over the last few months, and are you looking forward to getting back into this, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a busy few months, very busy. And yeah, I miss talking about indie games, you know, especially this, you know, I think there's a lot coming out, right? There's some really big ones as well.
Definitely.
So, and last year was pretty good for indie games as well. I don't think it was the best year, but I think there was a lot of good stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Always.
Nice. That's awesome to hear, buddy. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, just like I said, so missed it chatting with everyone, and especially you guys being, you know, actually having the show together. We kind of kicked it off, and then it was like, oh dear, work's taken over a little bit because I got a new job, but now I've settled in, and you know, it's that hopefully Juds, you're through your painful months. Hopefully I know you've had a bit with your teeth action, so hopefully that's all getting better for you too, and everything all settling for all of us now, and we can get back into it. But yeah, it's great to be here today, to be doing that, and you know, awesome to see everyone in who the old favourites, Meisuko, Stubbs Gaming in the house. I saw Flapping there a minute ago. We got Daft Praxis. We got some awesome people coming by. Thank you so much. We got Scott from Green Pass as well. And who else do we have in here? We have Dimension Omega Game Dev. Awesome to see you in. Thank you very much for coming by. Ori MNA, thank you very much for coming by. All of you guys who have joined us, Shizno Elite as well. Everyone who's in the chat. It really is so good to see you back in. You never know when you're going to turn back up and then you just get no one after leaving it a few months. So it's very kind of his comeback. We are here to celebrate indie games, and there's some great ones looking around. Like Luke said, like Judd says, this year's looking awesome. Last year, I thought it was a pretty solid year, pretty good year actually. I definitely think this year's going to be even better from what is coming up, and that is one of our topics later on today, which we'll be getting into 2022 upcoming indie games, which we are most excited about. So we'll save that one for a little bit later on, but yeah, so many great ones on the way. Very excited for that. But yeah, I thought maybe we'll just get warmed up, catch up on a little bit, which we probably would have covered earlier, but like I say, we had the break, so we'll make up for lost time now. Maybe talk about some of the games that we've missed out on, I guess, over rounding up for the end of last year. So 2021 best indie games we're going to dive into first, and we'll talk about some Steam goodness as well, because I'm super hyped for that, and I'm interested to hear what the consensus is from the chat on that one. So those are kind of the topics for today. But yeah, we're going to be diving in hard, as we always do, to the indie goodness. We're bringing back indie goodness into your lives. Always, that's what we are about. But yeah, great to be back doing it.
The t-shirt indie.
Still t-shirt time it is, I think now. This is about it, isn't it? It's been on hold, but we got to do it. Love it. But yeah, maybe we should. What have you guys been playing lately? We're just supposed to start with a little warm-up question. Maybe what you've been playing lately? Maybe Judsy, maybe what you've been playing to get warmed up, and then we'll go into our 2021s in a second. But you've been playing much lately, buddy?
Yeah, to be honest, there's a game that's just dropped, Dreamscaper.
Oh, nice.
If you've not played it, it is on Game Pass. Go and get it. It's absolutely fantastic. Again, It's another one of those, it's a roguelike type game, but the art style is absolutely beautiful. And the mechanics in this game are also fantastic as well. So I've been playing that. That's been extremely good. I've jumped back on, for crying out loud. You know what I'm like with my memory.
No worries.
It's the Pixar game on the PlayStation.
Dreamscaping worlds. Yeah, you've got two. You get Pixar. What one is it? Sorry, do you say?
Someone will say it in a chat. You know the game with the little girl that looks like Pixar animation.
Kena. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what, these cobwebs are going to take
These
a while.
cobwebs are thick.
Oh, it's really bad. And
dense cobweb action.
Saves the World. I've been
sweet.
playing that as well. Yeah,
nice.
That's really good. So,
awesome.
Yeah, quite a few really.
That's great. Yeah. So, Dreamscaper is actually a game that shout out to Flame. Don't know if you know him, but he's a great guy. He watches this channel quite a lot, and he's with the Iron Lords as well. He writes for them. But yeah, he's a great guy, and he keeps trying to get me to play Dreamscaper for ages. It's been on PC for a while actually, and it's finally coming to Game Pass now. It's actually on Game Pass, like you say, and I said I've got to get on it now, so I will be doing so. It's like you said, it's roguelike, isn't it? So
yeah, I think you'll like it, mate, honestly.
Sweet. I definitely need to do it. He's been telling me for so long, so all credit will go to him if I enjoy it. And yourself a little bit now as well. But yeah, so Nobody Saves the World that you've been playing. I played that a little bit actually. It's actually really fun. But then I started to sort of just think, I'm not sure. I was like loving it, and then I was like, I don't know. I sort of went off it quite quickly in a way. I enjoyed it solidly for maybe like 6 hours or something like that. And I was thinking, yeah, this is great. And then it sort of just grew a bit tired all of a sudden. I don't know about you. You've been playing it for a long time, or?
Probably about 2 hours. So I'm probably not as far through as you at the minute. I've just unlocked some new characters and stuff, and got out of the first two areas. So yeah, I don't know if it stays as it is now, then I see where you're coming from. But to be honest, I need to play a little bit more of it to make a decision.
I mean, the good thing,
what I'm doing now.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are really loving it. I do really love it. The art style and the dev is a cool dev, and I like the way they've got all the different characters which you unlock, which makes it diverse a little bit in that regard. But yeah, I think it's just there's so many games that I've got to play, and I'm just at the moment I've turned into the opposite of what I was playing games quite like through to finish quite a bit before. Now all of a sudden I'm just playing bits of games, more games, if you see what I mean. I've just sort of changed my habits essentially a little bit, which is unintentional, but I've just got so many games to get through. It's just got to do it, I think.
Crazy,
yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, exactly. And Scott's in the chat there saying he felt the same in Nobody Saves the World. I stopped playing after a few days when I came back. I was completely lost and found traveling to different areas frustrating. Yeah, fair enough, buddy. Yeah, it's a cool game, but yeah, I think a lot of people are enjoying it, and definitely try it out if you haven't already. But yeah, and then Kena, how much have you played of Kena? I know that Luke's played that, and I've got Kena in the backlog actually, so I haven't actually got to that yet, but I desperately need to. But how are you finding Kena?
Oh, I'm actually loving it. I know that's another one that people say, oh, well, it's pretty samey all the way through, but just the character of the game, I'm really, really enjoying it. Probably about halfway through, I'd say, maybe just over halfway through at the minute.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Finished the Gunk.
Obviously. Oh, nice. Good stuff.
And unlike Stubbs, finished What Remains of Edith Finch. That's a good. That was one that was in my backlog so far back, I completely forgot about it. But with him completely going on about it every 5 minutes, I'm like, right, I'm going to go and play that game. What a cracking game! Loved it.
It's amazing, that game, for sure. Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? It is. Yeah, so it's very deep storytelling. Very well done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Really good stuff, mate. That's awesome. So yeah, Luke, what have you been playing, my friend? You've been probably playing quite a bit, haven't you, I imagine?
Yeah, bits and pieces. I mean, on the indie side, I guess I didn't even last as long as you two. Nobody Saves the World.
Right. You found the same.
I think I got. Yeah, I mean, I got. So I really loved Guacamelee and Guacamelee 2.
Yeah.
For that matter.
Yeah.
So I was very much anticipating it, and I really do love the art style. I think it's really cool and quite different. But gameplay wise,
yeah, art style's nice.
Not grabbing me at all. Yeah, just not. I think it's the combat.
Yeah.
I think if you've played Guacamelee, that had really punchy.
Yep.
Combat, and it's not focused in this, which is fine.
Totally got you.
But there's no. Yeah, there's no bigger gameplay hook that's really got me into it, so I don't think I'll be back, which is a shame. But,
it is, yeah. I mean, like, that's such a good dev, and like, I mean, it sounds like a terrible thing to say, but it almost starts to feel a little bit like a mobile game. I would say that sounds like a terrible thing to say.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you go. You see what I'm saying?
It's something about the superficiality of the gameplay loop, and it's not superficial when you get, as far as I'm aware, get further into it and you've a lot more characters and there's a choice about how you approach things.
Yeah,
but just the moment to moment doesn't really feel very good. It doesn't feel good to play to me. And I'm pretty ruthless with games nowadays, so I will just discard them if they're not grabbing me quick.
That's exactly what I was saying about a minute ago, isn't it? Basically, it's just too much on our plates. We've got to get through some of it, haven't we? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good thing, a good situation for us gamers. But that's just the way the industry is. It's massive, isn't it now? So there's so many games.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, not one for me. I'm still very slowly going through Kena. I picked it back up a little bit over Christmas.
Cool.
That's really good. It's literally just other things taking time away. From it.
Yep.
Trying to think what else I started Inscription recently.
Oh yeah, cool. You said
which is a super cool game. Really different, and it's got that kind of weirdness and intrigue about it that makes you kind of want more.
Definitely.
So, and of course I've been playing Echoes of the Eye, which is the Outer Wilds DLC.
Oh yeah, how's it living up to your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. I mean, it's it's more Outer Wilds, so it's extremely good. I think Skill Up actually put it as at its #1 game of the year.
Wow, that is
on his list.
Pretty damn good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because he put the Outer Wilds on his #1 when that came out as well. So again, a testament to how good that game is, but also the DLC, which is actually probably as long as the main game.
Oh, really?
To it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty significant. And it's just brilliant. I've not finished it yet, but I've got through a good 6 hours or so, 6-7 hours. So
That's awesome.
Really good.
So you with Inscription, it's roguelike, isn't it? Is that right?
It's a little.
Is it like deck builder as well? Isn't it? Yeah.
It's a deck builder. Yeah, deck builder, and then it's got lots of other things going on in it, but at its core, it's deck, card game sort of thing. So,
and it's got some crazy weirdness going on, which seems pretty intriguing from what I can tell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it almost reminds me of if Undertale was translated into a card game, kind of weirdness about it.
Nice.
That really, kind of cool dialogue and stuff. It's got that kind of feel. So mainly just those, and obviously, Sifu kind of came out today and kind of didn't. I'll pick that up because I've been looking. That's for the indie base. That's been about it, I think.
Sounds good. Excellent stuff, my friend. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously you're a huge Outer Wilds guy, aren't you? So you're getting to your little baby now, which is cool, and I'm glad it's living up to your hopes.
My hopes and dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know it. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've been, like I say, hopping around quite a bit on games, but I'm actually playing. Funnily enough, I was playing Sekiro, and not an indie game, as we know. I've ruined the system.
A good game, though.
A good game, yeah, and it definitely kicks my butt quite a bit. It's a bit of a tough game. I was thinking, I've beaten Hollow Knight. I'm ready, and then it's pretty tough. I need to, you got to nail that, combat down. I think, haven't you, really, with it? It's it's all based around that timing and everything of the combat. I find it quite tough, but I've played about 7 hours and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, not really advancing that much, but just still enjoying the combat in that. But I just thought I'd mention because I do enjoy it.
Souls games, isn't it? That's what happens. You kind of stick there for 5 hours and don't really get anywhere.
That's true.
It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you enjoy it, I guess. Yeah, and I think once you master that timing and window for like reversal or whatever, counters and stuff, the parry and all that stuff. But there are certain things, there's quite a lot of mechanics in the game, like a lot of upgrades you need to sort of do certain things, so it can be quite like you need to know what you're doing and you need to research it almost. Again, like that's another Souls thing, isn't it? And that's actually a bit like Hollow Knight. Again, you have to kind of do the extra looking up online a little bit to work out what parry you need to beat that boss or whatever it is. There's separate different like moves and stuff. But yeah, otherwise I've been playing, as we said recently, a bit of Nex Machina, which is pretty damn awesome. Very late to the party, but yeah, really cool game that is. Definitely jumped into Super Meat Boy Forever, which is cool because it's been super divisive. I'd just like to put my little 2 cents on that one because I know some people didn't like the fact that it was an auto runner. I don't know if you tried it at all. Have you? Anyone?
No, I've not.
No. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's actually really good, and some people didn't like the fact it's an auto runner, but you actually forget about that pretty quickly because there's a lot to the gameplay, and because when you're on Super Meat Boy anyway, you're running the whole time anyway. You're pressing right the whole time pretty much, so it doesn't really make much of a difference to it. But I think it's really good. If that's holding you back from trying it, guys, definitely don't let it, because it's a really cool game to try out. It is painfully hard as well, but it's also, again, rewarding and feels good. And the levels are very short, so you don't actually feel like you're about to punch yourself in the face because you're trying to get through a level. You can get through them in bite-sized chunks, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool for Steam Deck, I bet, as well, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, good stuff. What else have I playing? I'm playing a ton, really, to be honest. Just like, I've actually been buying more than I've been playing, though, easily, which is concerning because there's been too many good deals. It's just been like I've got like Humble Bundle, and I've got and this website, Steam sales, facts, big time, and also the amazing site, which is, if anyone's on PC and they haven't tried out Fanatical, then definitely try out that website, fanatical.com. They have some amazing deals on there, great bundles and stuff like that. They probably are actually better than Humble Bundle these days, to be fair. And I've just been picking up stuff through that, and there's some awesome games. Like on Fanatical, we've got like Avicii and Vector for 79p, which is bloody insane.
Wow.
But yeah, honestly, you got to check out that site. It is literally amazing. I got like a bundle of like, I think it was 4 games, Iconoclasts, Horizon Chase Turbo, Get to the Orange Door, and a bunch of others, like 5 games for like $4.79 or something. They do ridiculous deals on there, basically.
What you've done essentially there is looked at your backlog and said,
just
that's
said, yeah,
not big enough.
Let's pour some more on.
It's just not big. I need to add more games to this.
Exactly.
I can't get round to.
That's exactly true. But I quite like just looking at the pictures of the games in my library and just going, oh, I've got a nice library. I'm never going to play them, but they look nice.
I think you've got an issue.
I have got an issue. I will get there one day, I promise. One other game I picked up, which Meisuko, we talked to him about, is Ender Lilies as well, which is lots of people compare it to like Hollow Knight. So yeah, I've picked up Ender Lilies, which is a cool Metroidvania, which I will play as well at some point. But yeah, Disco Elysium I picked up as well. See what I mean? It's getting pretty severe, the pickups. But yeah, I have been playing quite a bit as well. But yeah, in like bits and bobs around the place. But yeah, so let's move on, shall we, guys? Let us know in the chat, by the way, what you guys have been playing and what you've been loving. And I need to get to Noita, actually, because I can just see Goat Force Gaming. Shout out to you, my friend. And also Meisuko, who was very kind to donate a little Noita to myself. He purchased me a Noita, and I've got to get to that because I know Goat Force and Meisuko love that game. Bit of roguelike action, and I'm going to be checking that out as well because they want to know my verdict. But it looks really cool. Definitely check out Goat Force's channel for all roguelike goodness like Noita playthroughs and stuff like that, and also Spelunky 2 as well, which is another game I want to get to. It's just impossible, isn't it? But yeah, there we go. Let's move forward, shall we, and dive into a little bit of 2021 overall, kind of our favourites, I think, because we, like I say, missed the opportunity at the end of last year or the beginning of this year to kind of do that. We won't spend forever on this one, but we can just pick out a few of our favourites that we enjoyed from last year. And yeah, it'd be good to hear, like I say, guys in the chat. Definitely let us know your favourite indie games of 2021. And yeah, we'll definitely read some of those out. But let's get cracking on into the 2021 picks, I guess we would say. Who would like to go first? Judsy, baby, you ready for some 2021 action of your favourite games, my friend?
I could certainly give you some 2021 action, not a problem.
That sounds good.
Coiled and ready to spring as ever. So I actually thought 2021 was really good, a really good year for me. If you look at some of the shows that we covered, you know, Thunderfall, Guerrilla Collective, Opening Night Live, ID Xbox, the Nintendo Directs, there's been some absolutely amazing shows and games. I was looking back through my notes, and one of the shows we did, and I say looking back through my notes, now I can't actually find it, so that's brilliant. Oh yeah, Opening Night Live had 40 games showed.
Amazing.
And we were talking about the different things that we were looking back on in 2021, and you know, in our DMs, and we're like, you know what? There's so many. How do you start? How do you even start?
It's so true.
So it is, and what I've decided to do, I've picked 9 games. I'm going to rattle through them really quickly, but I've finished all of these games, and then I'll give you my game of the year. So it's a little bit late. 2021.
Yeah, it is a little bit. We're making up for lost time right now, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we've had the Keeleys, we've had the magazines and stuff, and the YouTubers giving their awards. But to be fair, we needed to hear the opinions of the Indie Gamer.
Oh,
Game of the Year 2020.
Everyone's been poised and waiting.
Yeah, everyone's been poised, waiting,
ignoring everyone else. Just like everyone speaks, they put their hands over their ears. No, I'm waiting. That would be.
So
yes.
Let me see. I'll run through these 9. I'll just give a little bit of commentary, okay, and then I'll give you my game of the year.
Oh, nice.
And game of the year again. My word, how difficult! All right, stop babbling. Right, so my games: Omno, Artful Escape, Art of Rally, Circuit Superstars, Last Stop, Death's Door, The Ascent, Song of Iron, A Juggler's Tale. You could add another 30 games onto that list. It's impossible. But these particular games, they either moved me in a certain way. Or Art of Rally, obviously, you know, racing, that's my thing. Love that. The Ascent with the cyberpunk aesthetic, the Juggler's Tale with the storytelling and narrative. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. Song of Iron, debut game for Joe, brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, and on you go. So, what was my game of the year? It is, as somewhat of a musician.
I know what it is. I know what you're going to say. Go.
Artful Escape.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes.
Good choice.
And this is strange actually, because you know, you could look at, like I said, you could look at 30 different games and pick any of them, and it's impossible to pick one. But I think, like you, last year we were talking about this, and Artful Escape, it did sort of have an effect on you when you're playing the game. Not just the music, but it had an emotional sort of
definite
roller coaster through the game, and the artwork is absolutely incredible. You know, the story is pretty engrossing, and then obviously the music was brilliant. Absolutely loved it, and I wish it was twice as long. So I'll stop there. That's my thoughts on 2021.
It's good.
My game of the year. But I could have easily picked others. Song of Iron is definitely my debut game of the year for last year for debut developer.
Nice.
I think that was also very cool.
Nice. That's good stuff. Yeah. No. That's a great pick, actually. Yeah, fantastic. I love Artful Escape. Really good choice. Fantastic. Actually, I just realised I forgot to mention. This is completely random now. I'm going to say this, but I was playing Psychonauts 2 a lot, by the way, guys, as well. So I just throwing that in there. I forgot to say a minute ago. I nearly finished it. Just missed on the last topic. Throw it in there. But no, I love that. Sorry, randomness. I love that. That was a great little rundown. You've got a lot in there, actually, haven't you? Yeah. There's just so many more as well. But yeah, so you know. Artful Escape, that's your top pick. You like the emotional connection. That does a lot in a game. I think if you've got a lot of good mechanics there, if you have a little bit of a connection emotionally, I think that makes it really, it lasts with you, doesn't it, when games are like that. But that's a really good shout, buddy. Let's send this one over to our brother Luke Steele and see what his highlights from 2021 were on the indie scene.
It's like I said earlier, I think it was a good year. I don't think there was any one game that was, you know, really outstanding for me anyway. Funnily enough, I think Echoes of the Eye was probably the only one that's kind of reaches that level, but that's just a broken record. So
no, it's all good.
But there were a lot of good indie games. I think for me, so Death's Door was definitely a highlight. Really cool. Really enjoyable game.
Definite.
Super cool art style. Very memorable for that, and I really liked a lot about it actually. Especially the boss stuff, which I always thought was really good.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. It's amazing. As you can see, it's on the screen.
Yeah,
that might hint on something what I'm going to say, but yep, definitely good shout. Yeah. Love it. Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, so that was one. Kena was another one. You know, that's a really good game.
Yep.
Just, I mean, ridiculous production values for an independent game in particular. Just absolutely insane.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll do next. Do you think they'll do a sequel to that, or do you think they'll do something different? Just as a random quick question.
Well, I haven't finished it, so I don't know if it's
about the ending.
A sequel.
Yeah. They're talented, though, aren't they?
I think, yeah, and I think that I think irrespective of what they do, I suspect they'll have, you know, a big budget for the second game.
Yeah.
I'd question whether the second game might actually get into the realms of AA or something like that. I mean, the line's super blurred with Kena anyway, because it's it's leaps and bounds beyond a lot of indie games out there in terms of production. So
of what it
I don't
appears,
know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to what they do next though, because they're, you know, for a first game in particular, it's really, really good.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
So that I'm trying to think what else I enjoyed on the indie scene.
Feels like a long time ago already, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think that's the thing, right? I mean, there's so many that have kind of come and gone, and often you kind of Oh, I mean, Artful Escape, I would totally agree with.
Yeah.
Actually, that was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a perfect game if you're busy as well.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't require much concentration, if that makes any sense, right? It's very simplistic gameplay wise, but it's such a sensory experience, and it does have those moments where it's doing something with music and visuals where you really do get like a kind of swelling up, and you're like, oh wow, this is really impressive. So would recommend that pretty heavily. I think those kind of 3 or 4 are probably my picks, but I mean there was a lot. Games that I'd really like to try out, like Loop Hero, which I just haven't touched. Inscription's another one which is brilliant, but I've not got super far into it. So
yeah, how about
I don't know.
The Ascent? Was that a bit of a disappointment for you last year?
Yeah, that was a big disappointment. Very nice visually. The PC port was garbage.
Yeah.
It took them way too long to fix it, and they didn't fully fix it. I think to this day it's still not fully fixed in terms of a lot of the kind of DLSS ray tracing implementation, how they work. Yeah, that was disappointing. 12 minutes was another one that was incredibly disappointing.
We know you're passionate about
that. Yeah, I mean, just an absolute disaster towards the second half of that game. I finished it, so I feel I can give pretty good judgment, but which happens. And then, I mean, there were some games like that some games I think that came out that I was really looking forward to, and then they came out to kind of middling reception. So games like Jet, for example, which I was really looking forward to, but that wasn't that well received. And then Solar Ash was another. Again,
do you play Solar
kind
Ash?
of middling. I've not played it. No, I've not played them yet. I will pick them up, but I don't think I'll pick them up right now.
Sure.
Although I think Solar Ash is on sale at Game Store, so maybe I'll.
Sometimes with that, I would rather play it on Steam, and like if it's not like a really good deal on Epic, or it's like a little bit not quite, it's a bit lukewarm, like you say, or something. No pun intended. Sorry, terrible. But I would like hang on maybe for Steam. That's an opportunity to just wait for Steam, in my opinion, because it will come to Steam, no doubt. Down the line, like the Pathless, for example.
Yeah,
that's now come out in Steam. You know what I mean?
I think. Agree with that. I think as well.
That's just me anyway.
Might get it on EGS if they've got one of their coupon things.
Yeah, well, that's how I got. That's how I got Kino. I got the old coupon cheekiness. Yeah, so I was like, I got to go for it now. Really, yeah. But
yeah.
I mean,
so
yeah, that's a whole nother discussion about Epic Game Stores and how much they've put into trying to buy people basically to go into their store. But that's an interesting one to chat for another day, I think, actually. Some people maybe are coming around to Epic, but it's definitely getting used like another platform now. People are treating it like that, but it's still, they are paying a lot of money to get people over there, aren't they? So with free games,
that's only EGS now as well.
Yeah, they've got a lot.
Now.
They've got quite a few good ones actually, which are coming just to that.
I think is Stray one of them as well? Is that?
I think it might be.
An EGS game.
And also Axiom Verge 2 was as well when that came out. That's just a random one that just popped into my head. There's quite a few those bigger ones that are slightly, like you say, the Stray sort of scale of game. That are kind of like the Sifu, that's why I put that in that sort of realm of that. But that they come out on there because they snap them up or whatever. But it's a bit. I'm not that precious over where I play it, but I don't know. I just quite like the Steam library, and I like the Steam setup, and I like obviously the Steam achievements and it all just being together or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's just me. But
I agree. I think it's nice to just have everything on Steam. But sometimes, EGS, they do have some good deals.
They're fighting. Yeah, you have. They've got some good sales going on a lot, and they often do those £10 vouchers. Like that's the thing. Yeah,
which are ridiculous.
Definitely. No, that's a good shout.
So, Yeah. So that's mine.
Cool. No, that's good stuff. Just quickly going to address a little thing in the chat that I see. So I think Ori might have mentioned after I said Psychonauts 2 was something. He said it's owned by Xbox. Yeah. So basically, that wasn't me necessarily saying I believe it's an indie anymore. By the way, just to let you know, I know Stubbs was chiming in on it as well. He said something about Psychonauts 2 isn't an indie no more, and it was taken away before it even got to release. Yeah, I mean, the only confusion on Psychonauts is maybe that it was, it's crowdfunded, and a lot of the development would have been classed as indie until they got bought up, and then it gets a bit confusing. That's probably why some confusion comes in. I would probably class it as a non-indie, just to clarify, because eventually they have been bought up and there was money poured into it. So for a little bit of extra attention, I believe. But yeah, I was just saying I was playing Psychonauts 2. I enjoyed it, but actually kind of I think I'm on the last level, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep playing it. It's getting a bit drawn out at the end. I was finding, but I've got almost at the end of the game, I think. But I just was like, it needs to end now, and that's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? When you're playing a game and you should be loving it and don't want it to end, but I was kind of feeling like dragging out at the end. I don't know. Have you guys beaten Psychonauts 2 or?
No,
No, I think I'm about halfway.
Right,
maybe.
okay.
Again, it's on the backlog, which is ridiculous now.
Yeah, I love the game for it's amazing level design and just it's super cool. But like I said, I think the pacing of it is slightly wrong. I think it just needed to keep moving a bit more. But maybe I'll go back and finish it. That's just a little. I think I'm on the final level. Literally, it is. But yeah, it's good. It's a really good game. But yes, so I think last year is kind of like a really solid year. I would say it's kind of like. It's hard to pick standouts. I mean, if Silksong would release, we know what would be the best game. There we go. I've given it to you.
Who had 45 minutes in before the first mention of that?
Yeah.
Who's won the bet?
Exactly. Yeah. No, but I mean, you can see it on the screen that I put it into the little topic picture thing. Death Store, as everyone has mentioned, a lot of people love that game. I think that would be classed as a standout, I'd say. I mean, I don't want to say the same games. I mean. But Death's Door and The Artful Escape, two of my favourites, definitely from last year, without a doubt. You've mentioned them before, but Death's Door is just the challenge of it is great. It's some of the bosses, again, like Luke said, the level design is really cool. Just a fantastic game, and just the right difficulty, I would say. The final boss is a super fun boss to do, and the Artful Escape, like Judd's already called out, it's. I mean, I used to play in bands, so it was kind of maybe a little bit extra emotional thing going on. I don't know, but I think it's just anyone who likes to be creative, anyone who likes to be whatever it is, in any way, I think would connect to that game, whatever their creative outlet might be. And that's, I just think it was really well done and just really funny. It's I like Mighty Boosh style. If you like Mighty Boosh, you definitely might get a bit of a vibe of that. But there's a big amalgamation of different influences, I would say. But yeah, Artful Escape, really cool game. And toward the end, that's where I was like, oh yeah, this is just hitting the right spot on the emotional connection thing. But yeah, super like Lou said, a treat for the senses, I believe you said, or something along those lines, and that is so true. Every sense is basically entertained with great music and visuals, which are absolutely stunning, actually. But yeah, fantastic game. But I'm going to add another one on there, which no one's mentioned, which was definitely one of my favourites from last year, which is I think Meisuko might be able to guess. I had a few chats with him about it, which is Unbound Worlds Apart, which is a kind of Metroidvania game, which has, I can definitely sense the influence of Hollow Knight in that game with the mechanics, the dash and all that sort of stuff. Feels a lot like it in that regard, but the gameplay is very different. With the portal mechanics and stuff like that, makes it very unique in that way. So nothing like Hollow Knight in that regard, but some very cool, clever puzzles that you have to solve, which are, revolve around clever platforming and stuff like that, and precise, a bit precise, not like hardcore precise like Super Meat Boy or anything, but platforming wise, or Celeste or something. But yeah, just nice, cool, challenge on that regard, and a really cool little visual style and story to it. Really good game. I think Unbound Worlds Apart. It's been on PC and Switch for a long time. I think it's actually literally imminently releasing on PlayStation and Xbox. So check out Unbound Worlds Apart, guys, if you've been hanging out as you haven't got a PC or whatever. I think it's coming to Xbox, like I think it's in March actually.
I bought that game on Steam.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, but I've not fired it up.
Oh,
And
really?
it's going back to the backlog issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm going to have to stop you, Indy, because I think we got a little bit of an issue in the chat, a bit of a mutiny that someone might need to be put in time out here because
What's that?
Scott, that is blasphemy. Honestly, yeah, I think you need to read that, Indy.
I got it. Right.
Song.
Is it indie? What is?
Yes, it is.
What is they make? What if they make? I think that means. What if they make a complete Art of Silk song? What if it's, dare I say, not very good? Not a chance, my friend. I genuinely think they're the safest hands out there. I mean, actually, I'm not going to fire that one to Luke, actually, if you don't mind. What do you think? Do you think that's possible, Luke? Let's just fire that, because I've got an emotional investment a lot. So what do you think of that, what Scott said? Do you think they're safe hands?
I think they're pretty safe hands, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as safe as developers can be.
Yeah.
They're pretty safe.
Yeah.
I'd hate to think what happened if it was a disaster.
Yeah.
But it seems like it couldn't be a disaster because like it's just going to take the formula of Hollow Knight and expand on it, and I don't see how you could mess that up. You know what I mean?
It's such a
Like, it's not
tuned formula already, isn't it? Like,
I mean, maybe if they were like converting it to a like full 3G game and doing all sorts of weird stuff with it, like maybe I'd be, no, I think Team Cherry are pretty safe.
I think
it'll be at minimum good. At minimum.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be at minimum as good as the old one, even. That's what I would say. I mean, that might sound like it. I mean, that's not a lot to ask because it's an amazing game. But that's, you know, I think. Although, you know, sometimes it's hard to recapture magic, isn't it, in anything?
Yeah, you never know. Yeah. But I think they're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Although I think there might be an issue, not an issue, but it's people's expectation.
Yeah.
I think it's very safe pair of hands. The amount of time that it's been in development, they've not, you know, talked about release dates, and everyone was saying last year, oh, is it going to be September now? Is it going to be this now? But I think it's building that expectation almost to the point of, regardless of what they do, it's not going to live up to everybody's expectations. But I think it's going to be exceptionally good. I've just remembered you can't time out a mod. So
yeah. What kind of mod behaviour is this, eh?
Mod behaviour.
You should be setting the example, mod Scott. Only joking. Love it, Scott, mate. No, it's a good question to ask, I suppose. I think he might just be trying to tease me, to be fair, but but yeah, no, you never know. But at the same time, like I say, you know, I think they are super solid. And, you know, the reason they're probably just, you know, getting on with things in the background is because they know their craft. I think it is quite amazing how much they were, like, focused on the vision initially. Like, it wasn't a lot that's wrong with the first one. I mean, the only thing you can, like, some people might say, which again, I'm not even sure is really a problem, but some people might say it might need a bit more, like, guidance in the first 2 hours, but then at the same time, where, you know, not really, because that's the Souls formula, isn't it? They don't hold your hand. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think they need? I mean, you've both played the start of the game and beyond, so how did you feel about that? I mean, because like Souls, they don't come along and go, here's, you have to go to here or whatever. You just figure it out, don't you? So they probably won't want to change that vision, do you think, or do you think they might address something like that?
I don't think they will, to be honest with you. It's like, you know, the big argument that kicked off about, you know, should Souls games have an easier mode? And there's lots of good arguments, you know, for accessibility and things like that. But the heart of the game and what that's all about is about the exploration and figuring things out. I was lost at the start, and remember we had a bit of a chat, and you said, oh, you know, give a couple of pointers here and there, and it clicked. Yeah. And suddenly I was starting to get into it. I'm stuck a little bit at the minute again now on it. I've not been back to it for a little bit, but yeah, I think they know what they've got. They know what they've got. They know the weight of expectation from the fans, and I think they're just taking their sweet time with it, and they're going to deliver a good product. But see what you think about that, Luke, on the difficulty side.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I think I mean, it's a Metroidvania as well. Half of the joy of it, or the point is to explore and not you're going and then think, oh well, I've got this new ability now. I remember this place back here, which I can now go to, and let's go and check. And as long as you've got a good map, which Hollow Knight had, I don't think you need any extra guidance, because if you're always kind of moving, I guess, to objective to objective, it kind of makes those games boring.
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
Metroidvania game where you've got no thrill of discovery at all, really, because you're guided on every time. I don't think that's good. I think there is a point around accessibility, but I think that's a separate point from people who aren't
definitely
talking about it from an accessibility point, but they're talking about it, I just want it to be made easier because it's just I more enjoyable for me that way, which I get, but equally that's the type of game it is.
Yeah, because the thing is with games like that, it changes the overall thing if you start doing stuff like that, if you know what I mean. Because it's all adding to the overall vision, that sort of feeling of discovery, like when it's a rewarding feeling, if you know what I mean, and you lose that if it's just all handed to you. And I think that's part of it. So yeah, I think they probably won't change anything on that, but I just know there's a few who have said that, I suppose. But yeah, like they're changing a few things up. It's going to be cool. We've sort of sidetracked to an extra topic thanks to Scott, which is always good to talk a bit about Hollow Knight, obviously. So yeah, Scott has set up a little segue for us there. But yeah, no, it's cool. Like I say in the chat, let us know any games you enjoyed in 2021 though, before we move on to the next topic. Just a quick heads up as well, guys. We are back now, obviously, on the regular. I'm hopefully going to be doing some streaming and stuff. I don't know. I mean, now I'm at a new point, so let me know what you'd like to see on the channel. Would you like to see videos? Would you like to see streaming of indie games and stuff? Obviously, it's all indie games, but just let me know if there's anything you would want to see on the channel come back. Obviously, the podcast is now back on the regular. But yeah, let us know if there's anything you want to see. Definitely would be happy to hear what your thoughts are. Obviously, things are a little bit different now with my schedule, but I'll be definitely trying to fit in things, around. My scheduling's a little bit different now, slightly less flexible. But I will definitely be doing more content now, compared to the last few months at least. But yes, I think like in general, I know Scott in particular in the chat, he did enjoy Death Store as well. Like I said, a lot of loves for Death Store. They didn't go down the Game Pass route either, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I know Game Pass does a lot for games, but it proves that you don't always need to go down that route, and it was a success. So that was, it's good. It's good that it's done so well. And like Devolver, I've got such a great lineup of games coming as well for 2022 on the way. We've got so many good ones. We'll get into that in a bit because we've got a list to go through of cool indie games. But so excuse me. And shout out to Puxley who's just joined us, and Adam Trotter. And everyone else who's hanging out, thank you very much indeed for being here. Blizmo in the house. But like I say, I mean, I don't even know when Silksong is coming still. I don't think anyone does really. Maybe 3 people in the world who know that. Maybe. Even maybe they don't know, to be fair. But yeah, like if, whenever it comes, I think that'll be the right time. They need to just wait, and it'll be grand. I'm sure it'll be awesome. And I don't know if it's gonna be this year even still. Some people were saying about February being the date and all that because of the leaks around the Nvidia thing that went down a few months ago. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's probably not going to be fair. But yeah, anyway, let's keep this show moving, guys. Thanks everyone for being here once again. I think we're going to move on to our next topic now. Now we've got 2021 cleared up. We're up to date, and we're moving forward to the future goodness that we are looking forward to. And I know one thing that I am definitely looking forward to a lot, and I know my good man Luke Steele is looking forward to this thing as well. And that is the Steam Deck, which we're going to be talking about now, guys. Very interested to hear what your thoughts are on the Steam Deck in the chat, guys. So, let us know. I'm going to just quickly fire a question to you guys. Let us know if you're interested in the Steam Deck. Are you cautiously interested? Are you all in on the Steam Deck? Are you like, no, thank you very much, I'm fine? Let us know what you're thinking about Steam Deck. It's actually coming out at the end of this month. The first like wave of orders will be going out to people. So that's pretty cool. If you didn't get it on the list early on, though, you probably won't be getting it straight away. But yeah, let's talk some Steam Deck. I'm very excited for it myself. I've got one pre-ordered. But I might send this one straight to Luke because I know he has one on the pre-order, which is pretty cool, my friend. How are you feeling about Steam Deck? Are you excited, buddy?
Yeah, I'm super hyped for this. Been looking forward to it for a long time.
Nice stuff. Yeah.
Finally ready to ship.
Yeah, man. What did you think about the date? Were you happy? I mean, because you got straight in on it, didn't you? I think is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I'm in the Q2 batch,
right?
So Q2 of this year. So
awesome.
After jump hoping April.
Yep.
Which is annoying, but equally, understandable given production and manufacturing at the moment is quite difficult. So, yeah, I mean, I'm super hyped for it. I think it's just such a cool piece of technology, and the idea of being able to take that library anywhere and play stuff natively on it is a really big selling point for me. I think your mileage varies on that depending on...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, depending on if you're a PC gamer, for one, and two, even if you are, what your Steam library is like. I mean, I've been on Steam for a long time, so
exactly.
I've got a pretty good, pretty big library of games that I can just pop over to that. And I really like the ergonomics of it. It's really big, which I know is like a thing that's kind of shocked some people, but all kind of led them to question if it's comfortable. But actually, being that big and the way that the grips are structured, etc., it looks very comfortable, and that's pretty much all the feedback I think we've had. I don't think I've heard any negative impressions about how it is to control or hold or anything like that. So, so that's cool, and it's super powerful, which is why it's so big to some extent, because it needs pretty adequate cooling. Main concerns for me are just, I hope the battery life is good. I mean, I know we've been given a lot of information about rough times, but I'd be interested to see how long that's going to last on, if you fire up Doom Eternal and just play it till it dies. How long does that last?
Yeah, and they say the battery is actually, it is not like when you unplug it gets any worse. The battery is equally good when it's plugged in and when it's unplugged. As in the quality of what the play is, you see what I mean? So it doesn't go into into a. Do you see what I mean? Have you heard that as well?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Which is cool.
It's not like the Switch, which has a boost mode effectively when it's docked. It just runs full clock,
which is
no
cool.
matter whether it's docked, plugged in, or So that will have an impact, obviously, for if you're just using it in handheld normally, because that's going to run down battery quicker. But equally, you need that because you don't want your PC games to be gimped only when you're playing in handheld.
Definitely. I mean, and like you say, depending on the game you'll play, I'm sure there'll be variances on that. So if you're like, you can push up the settings and things on it as well, and that's going to obviously affect things. So which is really cool. It's super open as well, as everyone has already heard about. You can install Windows on it and all that. I'm not sure. Are you going to install Windows on yours? Do you think, or do you think you'll just stick to the Steam OS?
I think I'll stick to. I'll wait and see how that goes. Obviously, someone will start doing that within minutes of getting it. I think
test,
for me, there's a lot of variables about that, how that's actually going to work. In terms of the capability to run Windows and play, demanding games, knowing all the background processes that go on in Windows, etc., and how is that going to impact battery life? And all of that sort of stuff. But I'm really interested I mean, it will work. It will definitely work.
Exactly.
Because it's just a PC ultimately. So Yeah, so that'll be really cool. It'd be cool to see that, but I'm gonna wait and see what happens with it until it gets to a solid place, I think, and then I'll probably see what I want to do. And I think really for that you need at least the 256 gig. I mean, you definitely need at least a 256 gig version for that. You're just not going to get away with doing stuff like that on the 64 gig one. So
totally.
Yeah, no, like I said, my only concerns are battery life. And then a lesser concern, not really concern, but I think I've been spoilt by or I may have been spoilt by the Switch OLED is the screen, because it's it's a big screen, but it's kind of it's not the greatest screen in the world, but I think it should be good enough, good for everything that's needed on it. But it's hard to know that until you get it in your hand.
That's it, yeah. So, most definitely. No, absolutely. It's a powerful machine. It's got a lot of variety, and I mean, for me, like some people were saying, I hope they support it or whatever. Personally, I'm not concerned about that in the least. Even if they didn't support it, we still have our Steam library on our Steam Decks. I know it's good if they support it, and then they're going to keep rolling out all of the verified and all that malarkey that they're doing. But I don't think there's any worry for me in regards. That's why I've just been happy to go ahead and just pre-order, to be honest, because it's native to Steam. Like, you've got your Steam library on there. You're not waiting for them to release games on it or anything like that. So it's not like they're not going to support in that regard. So yeah, I think it's going to do well. But we'll be. Yeah, it has been a bit of a history with Steam releasing stuff, but I feel like they've coming up to this point. This is sort of a proper push this time. They've got the whole verified system for certain games where it's going to be. Everything is going to be perfect on there, with the tick system and all that. So if it works perfectly on Steam Deck, as in I suppose like text, and also at points you might have to use the keyboard, touchscreen and stuff like that. And if it's all set up specifically so you can play the game on Steam Deck, as opposed to sort of it's not all there and you might have to do a bit fiddly stuff. There's different verification check marks that they're using as a system. You've probably seen that, haven't you, if you've been looking out for it?
Yeah.
Which it's cool. I mean, they're very small little things, even if it's not fully verified. But otherwise you're going to run great. But there's just little tiny things like you might have a bit harder seeing smaller text or something like that, little things like that. But I think, with the verified system, hopefully they'll get as many verified as possible. They've got quite a big list already that are going to be at launch. For me, as you might expect, I'm probably going to be playing a lot of indie games on this, so that's another reason why I'm not so worried. It's going to hopefully keep the battery going for longer for me. Obviously some games are a bit more demanding even from the indie world nowadays, for example if you're playing Kena or whatever. But yeah, in general I'm excited. So you reckon you're April, are you? Is that when you'll get yours? Sorry.
Earliest.
Yeah,
so hopefully that month.
That'll be cool, man. Definitely. That sounds good. And Judsy baby, have you been checking this out? You like your tech, don't you? I know you do. I don't know if you've ordered one or anything, or pre-ordered one. But what do you think of the Steam Deck, my friend?
Yeah, I've not pre-ordered one. Honestly, conceptually, I love the idea of this thing. When you look at it, it's like, it's just a solid piece of kit.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a solid piece of kit. It is expensive, but then when you think about what you're getting in this thing, you can pretty quickly justify the cost.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm more obviously of a console first gamer, so I was hoping we were going to get Phil and Gabe, when they're on those conference calls and they're going, oh, we're releasing a special Windows OS for, that's fully compatible with the Steam Deck and it's all just going to work. I'd want to put Windows on it straight away because I think it's the perfect sort of device for Game Pass and xCloud.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was hoping they'd get some sort of partnership going. So I'm kind of hanging off at the minute. I've also been thinking about a Quest 2 to replace the Rift, and that's £300. The minimum one I'd want to get here is the 459 256 gig one, like you guys were saying, purely for getting the Windows one installed as well. But I'm going to hang back. I'm hoping that there's going to be a few articles. People are going to be putting Windows on. They're going to be doing loads of tests. Does this work? There's always that risk that you can say yes, it will run Windows, but like Luke was saying about the certified games that run on it and stuff like that, it could be a problem with compatibility because it's not built for the Steam Deck as far as we know. So yeah, I'm very impressed with the actual hardware itself, and it's the sort of thing I'd love to have. Before the pandemic, I traveled a lot, with work, so I'm always in airports and messing around on iPads and stuff. So the whole thought of this thing is brilliant. I really do like it, but I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna get your review. Hopefully, you'll do some sort of either, I don't know, rant on Twitter or in the DMs, or maybe some sort of unboxing and review on here. I don't know, but I'm going to wait to see what the reviews come in and say in the compatibility with Windows and dual use for this thing. But conceptually, it's a beautiful piece of kit. I love it, and it's where we need to be going as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've just put a poll in the chat, guys. So if you want to pop your answer into that poll, it'll be interesting to see the consensus. But yeah, great shout there, Judd. I mean, the thing of it is, like I say, it's very open, so you can definitely do that Windows thing. You can install it on there, and you can run Game Pass apparently on it. So it's the ultimate dream, really. It's the openness of it is great. I think the way they've just left it that way. So it's going to be interesting. Like, there will definitely be interesting to see what everyone does with it. These tests are going to no doubt be running. I bet a lot of creators are going to be getting them. Well, they already have, actually. There's a ton of creators, and all the developers and publishers have already got them. So, but these people who want to try and install everything on there and then run it like with the full release version, to see kind of like, push it to its limits. Essentially, we'll see where you can go with it. But yeah, for myself, like I'm definitely not too worried about getting Game Pass on there or anything like that. I mean, cool. That would be quite cool. But like my Steam library is pretty big and it's growing. It's growing considerably now because of these deals I keep finding. Yeah, get on Fanatical, guys.
It's funny because you think about the PlayStation handhelds, the Switch and stuff, and everybody's been saying, "Oh, Microsoft need a handheld," and every E3, my brother is like, "This is the year they're going to announce the X-Boy," and it's like, no, they're not. They're just not. So when this was announced, I was thinking, this has got to be it. This has got to be the time when they do a partnership and say, right, either they put Game Pass on the Switch or Game Pass on this, or Windows install on this, a verified version. This is going to be the piece of kit that they're going to finally do it. But it's not come out yet. So, but yeah, like you said, people are going to be tearing it down. There's going to be reviews. There's all sorts of people out there breaking it and messing with it. So I'm going to dig into that and see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Get reviews from yourself and people.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. I mean, for this instance, I feel good about a day one. Maybe I would wait, but like I say, because the Steam library is already there, that's what just makes me feel like I don't need to worry. But there are other things that some people might worry about. But like Luke said, if you've been on Steam, like you've been on Steam longer than I have, Luke, so you've got a bigger library, and mine might take over yours. By the way, I'm going at the moment, but I'm only joking because I buy too many indie games. Yeah, the indie games do top it up if these cheap ones. That's the thing, and Humble Bundle every month. But yeah, no, it's just great to be able to just have it there. I'm not going to have to buy like loads of Switch games like I did on my Switch, to be able to play them on there. It's just like it's there. It's just like amazing.
You've been hiding the bank statements when they're coming from the missus. Like, don't worry about that. I'll take care of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I mean, some people are comparing it to Switch and all that. I mean, obviously it's very different. They've got Nintendo's got all their games and everything like that. But for me, actually, it is going to make me sell my Switch. So, but I'm actually going to sell my Switch because it's pointless. I haven't been using it anyway. But I know that's not the common thing, because a lot of people like a Switch for the Nintendo games, and that's not why I have my Switch though. I've said it in the past before. I had my Switch for indie games, and since I had PC anyway, I haven't really been playing the Switch for that reason anyway. But now it's just the final.
That's a perfect device for you. This.
Yeah, that's why I just love it so much. Really, yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm excited, man. Just I hope it's gonna be not too long, because I think I'm beyond Q2. So do you know if that means, it says after Q2, do you think that means basically Q3? Yeah, I thought it might. That's I think that's what my one is. Yeah. So that's not too bad, but I'll have to just come around your house or something, Luke.
Fly over.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair as well, I mean, they announced that that point around, when it's available for you, you've basically got 3 days to confirm and pay fully. Otherwise, it gets effectively cancelled.
Exactly.
Or something of that nature. So I'm sure you will have a lot of people that will slip into, an earlier quarter.
That's what I was thinking.
And there'll also be people who just cancel because, you know, they can't afford it or they,
Yep. Yeah, it's
So I'm
literally a
hoping,
3-day window.
you
If you
know,
don't get it then, you don't
us,
get it, basically.
yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to
Yeah, you
hopefully
don't get it, yeah.
nudge up.
Nudge up a bit, yeah. If I can get in Q1, that'd be brilliant.
That'd be so cool.
Come February, whatever it is, to you know, be nudged up into it. Because I'm ready to go. I'm all, you know, I just really want it.
Yeah.
I just had to wait 3 months for my Xbox fridge, so you can wait a little bit longer for your Steam Deck.
How's the fridge, by the way?
That's pretty cool, actually. I must admit. Yeah, it's got a load of Monster Energy drinks in it at the minute.
Oh, nice.
Keeps me up.
Keep going on those throughout the night. You'll have a good gaming session, and then you'll be like washed out the next day.
Exactly. Yeah, staring at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's really cool. So yeah, definitely, I'm excited. I really like the build quality of it as well. Like you said, Judson, it's like really chunky, and I really don't like the Switch because it's really thin and like just it's too small and flimsy, and just feels like you could break it easily. I mean, I don't know if that's.
I think that's
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. They really improved that on the OLED one.
Oh, nice.
It feels more, I think that's. Yeah, so the combination of the screen, which just feels more premium and looks more premium.
Yeah, nice.
The big thing they did is, the back panel, half of that is now a stand, much like a Surface Pro or something like that, very similar, but that's all metal. That stand.
Oh, cool. That's really good.
So. Yeah, it feels heavier and a lot premium, but totally agree that, you know, the OG model feels a bit, after a while, feels a bit flimsy.
Yeah, and the buttons are really small and stuff. Like the thumbsticks, like a bit, I don't know, they just seem like small. I've not even got that massive hands either, really. I've got like medium, I think. I don't know. I'm not a giant like Stubbsy baby. Apparently 6'3", so. But anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Roll doll books, yeah.
But yeah, no, Ori says, hey, relax with that Switch slander, Indy. I'm sorry, my friend. I mean, you know, Switch is good and all that, but it's just not for me anymore. I mean, I would have preferred a better build quality, but they're, you know, maybe the most of their market's kids, so that's probably why they went for quite a small feeling. I was
going to say that, but I didn't want to alienate all the Nintendo fans.
I've just done it. He just said don't just slander them. I've just done it again, haven't I?
Yeah, that was all indie, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, no, it's all good. Switch is cool. I just think it's not really for me anymore. I like something where it's more ergonomic. What I'm hoping is that it feels like an Xbox controller in your hand, kind of thing. That kind of feel where you've nice feel. Yeah. Not Phil Spencer, that nice F-E-E-L.
You want Phil Spencer in your hand, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave that there.
Yeah. But look, you've gone for the 569 top tier, haven't you, buddy? Is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool, nice.
I did. Mainly because I wanted the storage space.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit faster as well than the 256.
Oh, is it?
Not by much. It's
not. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's only slightly. I think they ran some benchmarks a little bit ago, but it was
cool.
Like 5%, 10%.
Right.
Nothing to write about.
That's cool.
The different screen, so it's got anti-glare.
That's right.
Screen, which, to be honest, in the videos that I've seen, I prefer the look of the 256 one.
Oh right, okay.
It's a little bit more vibrant because of the screen.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But the problem is now I'm sort of locked in because I can't really cancel.
Yeah.
Because if I cancel, God
back
knows when I'll get one.
Back of the queue again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take my chances. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's a good shout. I think that, you know, that's a good amount of storage on there. You're able to install quite a bit on there with that one compared. But yeah, like the good thing again about indies is they're smaller. So I think I've gone for the 256 one, guys, in case you didn't know. The 459 middle tier, but that's all good. I think that will do the trick for me. And you can also add in a micro SD card as well. Obviously, games won't run quite as quick on that, but you know, you can still use it. It's all good. I'll test that obviously and find out how much difference that makes, but imagine you can move between the two like you would move between an SSD on, like, you know, your Xbox or on your PC or whatever for, you know, what you want to run the games off of, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. Just hopefully we'll get bumped up the queue, and yeah, me and Luke will have at least some Twitter clips, I'm sure, of something of us in our ugly hands. You've got probably nice manicured hands. Mine will be.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to win the hand competition. Hand model. Oh dear. What are we saying? Anyway, yeah, but looks like we've got some results on this poll. What's the winner? I can't actually pull it up. There we go. So the results of the poll for what's your Steam Deck stance, if that made any sense, the way I phrased that. So Defo getting what always just changed, actually. Someone's voted. Get your votes in now, guys, for the final results. I'll give you like 10 seconds. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome indie machine as well, in my opinion. Obviously, it's going to run AAA games. They've tested it like Doom Eternal and everything. But yeah, I'm thinking it'd be pretty cool for the old indies. So hopefully... And, you know, like a lot of people are, like you say, Judge, treating it as a bit of an Xbox portable, even though it's not Xbox at all. But, like, you can put your Game Pass on there, like you say. But, yeah, that's fair. Do you think it's going to be a success thing? Do you think it's going to do well? Do you think it's going to, yeah, just in a general term of success, what do you reckon, Judge? Do you think it's going to sell well and just... Yeah, suffice.
From the demand on the pre-orders, and I think once people get them in the hands and the reviews start coming out, as long as there's no crazy, you know, hardware, you know, screw-ups or anything, I think it's going to be huge, and I think it's going to sell massively.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my current prediction.
That's
and
good.
I suspect that there'll be a shortage again, much like we've seen with the consoles. There'll still be a big waiting list for this thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. If you want to get in on this, guys, get onto Steam. I don't know if you didn't know anyone who wanted to get on this. All you need to do is go on Steam, and you place a £4, I think it is, or is it £5? I think it's £4, $5 pre-order thing for it, and you're in the queue then, basically. And then you'll get an email when it's time, and you just have to close the deal, pay the rest of the money within that 3-day window, like Luke said. So if you did want to get on the Steam Deck train, join us. It'll be fun. Be an early adopter.
I might pre-order it, actually, just because if the reviews come out and then they're not available until, you know, September, I'll be thinking, damn, I should have pre-ordered it.
And that's why when Luke said about just a minute ago, that plays into that. If people probably have done that, thinking, I'm not sure, I'll leave it open, and then there'll be a lot of cancellations maybe, and then we will get bumped up, Luke, won't we? So that plays into that mentality.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, you should pre-order, Judge, then, just in case leaves it open for you. Definitely.
Yep.
But yeah, and in general, Luke, do you think it's going to be a success? Are you concerned if it is, you know, like if it's not going to be a success? Are you know, that you're not bothered about that, or do you just feel like it is going to be a success and that's why you're behind it? Is it not really pivotal for you?
I think it will be a success.
Yeah.
You know, the pre-orders have been ridiculous on it.
Yeah, exactly.
As Judd said, absent of any really bad hardware failures.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it'll be very successful.
Nice.
And as you said, actually, I mean, it's hard to define what does success mean in the context of the Steam Deck, because as you say, it's not a Nintendo, right? It's not.
No.
Valve aren't pumping out software for this.
Exactly.
It's a device that plays the games you already have and that are coming out. So.
Yep.
I think, you know, much like the Steam controller, right? They don't, you know, that's not a huge quote unquote success, but it doesn't matter because you just pop it in and it helps on whatever game you're playing. Exactly.
It's all stuff to get more people buying games on Steam at the end of the day. All their stuff they've done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just another option, basically, of hardware in that ecosystem. So. I think it'll do excellently. I think there's a bigger market than I think people realise for this sort of thing in the PC space. So nice. I think it'll be very successful. Yeah,
it's got a lot going for it. Like, you know, it's going to get people maybe who are console gamers only usually to get into the PC gaming world. A lot of people I hear that like, oh, you know, I don't play on PC. You know, if there was a console or whatever, then, or you know, I'd like to play PC games or whatever if there was a way. I know Removable Sanity, he said that before, like if you could actually play some sort of PC games in via a different method. This is like a really cheap PC. You can use it as a PC. The price is actually ridiculously good for the hardware you're getting, and you can, like I say, plug it into a monitor and use it as a PC if you want. So It's I know it probably isn't the ideal way, but like if you're just about the games, and it's it's a way to get into the PC market, and then maybe later on you would get a full-on PC. But I know we've all got PCs, but just for some people who are a bit more like console based, this is a console essentially, but it's also a PC, so it's quite a good little hybrid thing going on there. It opens up the market.
The other thing there, mate, as well, you're sat in a hotel in Italy, you've got a TV, plug it in, off you go.
Exactly.
I think that's got some good uses, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it definitely has. Yeah,
you don't have to be in Italy to plug it in.
I was just going to say, it's that part of the deal. I'm always over in Italy, sunning it up, living the life.
I don't do any of that while I'm there. It's all work.
Yeah, you're always.
Drink, so.
That's cool, man. Nice. Yeah, but for you travel a lot, so maybe could work for you and all that stuff. Yeah. Good stuff.
I've pre-ordered it now, so that's that. It's done.
Yep, and well, good stuff. We've won him over there, Luke. That's a pretty good win there, I think. I love it.
YouTube costing me money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say short change. Oh, you're only £5 down at the moment, so you're all right.
Yeah. Was it 4 or 5 Juds in the end? Have you done it already? Or is it...
Yeah, it's £4.
£4, right? Yeah, nice. So I think it's $5. So. Yeah, so Blizmo just said he said earlier he's ordered one. He plays on MacBook, not a gaming PC, so we should work out good. And that's a great shout because I used to be a Mac owner before a PC owner actually, and I was really like, I was trying to like play Steam games in the early days on Mac, and it's just like impossible really, because Mac is so not designed for gaming. That's a fact. But they're great at other stuff. But you know what I mean? It just
it's quite disappointing actually, because you look at the new MacBook Pros and the GPU power, the raw horsepower they've got. They're unbelievable, but they're just because they're not designed for it.
Exactly.
Run games on them, and it's like mid-range performance if you can get it working. So.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, again, that's a great shout from Blizmo on that. So yeah, and Stubbs Gaming is coming with an outrageous statement and a very kind offering to maybe soften the deal. Very kind super chat, Stubbsy. Thank you very much, my friend. He says, biased Steam Deck fans. Great show, guys. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much, Stubbsy. Appreciate that. I know you love to I say, be the contrarian in all situations, so it's always good to have someone to go against, I guess, to drill out a topic, I guess. But yeah, no, it's not proven yet, so I will say, Stubbs, fair enough. It's all good. If you don't believe yet, we'll only be saying, look now, Stubbs, down the line we'll be saying, look, you were wrong, and showing you up, but you don't worry about it. It's all good.
There's a lot of hope in your voice when you say that.
Yeah.
Hope it's not the other way around.
It could be the other way around, yeah. So to be fair, I really hope it isn't the other way around. And like I say, I'm confident because the Steam library's already there, and it's just, the great thing is as well, you're playing on your PC, and then you can't get in that room for whatever reason, or you want to go out and then you carry on the game outside. It's just like carry on the game wherever you're going. And I'll be taking it on to my lunch breaks to try and get some time in at work if I can manage it.
Yeah. My dream, which I'm hoping will be reality, and the thing that, I'm looking forward to playing it just anywhere, but I've got a holiday booked in October. And I just imagine just laying there with 17 beers and a Steam Deck and some noise cancelling Bluetooth headphones and just being on a beach.
Sounds
and
amazing.
being right. I'm just going to play this for about 8 hours and then go to bed.
That's the life. Yes, winning.
Very specific number of beers.
I was going to say,
not 16 or 18, but 17.
It's conservative, that as well.
Oh wow!
Because you gotta go hard. Haven't you? So,
he's got. We've been talking about EGX in coming later this year in September, guys. So that's scary talk for me. You can handle 17 easily.
Well, I don't know. I could. There's a difference between being able to drink that many and handling it. Right? I'd probably still die, but I'll give it a bash.
Exactly. That's great. Brilliant stuff. Yeah. So actually, funny enough, just a quick one on EGX. after we spoke about it, the Birmingham one was actually cancelled. Sadly, I don't know if anyone saw that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, did you see? Which bit of a bummer. But then they said, I think it's like they're going to cut the losses on that one and just focus on September, and hopefully that will still be okay. That one. But yeah, what do you reckon to that though? Probably a good thing.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's hard to predict, isn't it? But I hope so.
Yeah, it did slightly worry me, but like, I mean, because last year they did it in London, and it was just very bare bones, and people were actually complaining and stuff about it being so like little people there because they wouldn't want to do it in that climate. And that time it was quite. I would never have gone then. That's why I didn't go. I was like, I'm not going there. But yeah, at that point. But now it's feeling a lot better. And I think probably this one cancelled, and then probably it's going to make the London one a bit more busy. To be fair, which is quite cool because people will instead go to the London one instead of that Birmingham one. But yeah, hopefully it'll be good and it's going to be all sorted. Yeah, Adam Trott said EGX has been poor in recent years. Well, I'd say it's been poor since COVID. I had the one I went to in 2019. I think it was 2019. I thought that was actually really good. But I'm only about those indies anyway. Cyberpunk stand, other stands and stuff. I didn't really check those out. So I don't know if it depends what you're there for really. They had arcade stuff and all that kind of like retro consoles and that sort of stuff. They had a load of good stuff to have a good time, to be honest, from my point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think to be fair, with our audience, if they do go, they'll be there purely to see Luke getting catatonic on 17 beers.
Stumbling around.
We'll have to do a live show from there.
Just babbling about the Outer Wilds. Yeah,
exactly. That's all you need. You don't even need anything else with that regards. That's brilliant.
Just come for that.
Definitely.
It doesn't matter about the games.
Oh, hang on. Scott's just pre-ordered the Steam Deck again. Have you just pre-ordered it, Scott? That is one of us. Love it. That is legendary. Well done, my friend. Stubbs is outraged. That's good. No, it's good. It's going to be cool. Steam Deck crew, join us, guys. There's a good bunch of you guys actually. It seems that are actually really excited for it, and I think it is going to be a really cool thing. And I'm excited to hear that you guys are excited as well. But yeah. Anything you guys want to say about Steam Deck before we move past it, my friends?
Nothing more for me, only the fact that Stubbs is probably going to tweet at Joe Biden now to stop the Steam Deck coming out. So.
Nice. Yeah, and just needs to hurry up as well. Yeah, exactly. I think, like I say, release date, was it 28th or 25th of this month, the first batch? I think it was one of them.
One of them.
28th or 25th this month, I think it is. I think it's 25th, and because then I think the 3-day window goes to the 28th or something. That's how I'm getting confused. But yeah, so that's the first batch, and I'll be looking out for you never know, you might even get bumped up that far. I don't know. You never know. You might be getting it in March even. That'll be quite cool, wouldn't it? That'll be sweet. And then we definitely expect a new YouTube channel, Luke's Steam Deck reviews.
I don't know about that.
As well as
too much effort.
As well as obviously all of your paintings and figurines, etc., whatever you want to call them, statues. That has got to be happening.
It'd
be
a weird channel.
It
would. Bunch of shit on it.
Luke's shit. That'd be good.
Yeah, Luke's shit.
I think that'd be good.
Drunk. That'll make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Blizzmo said it's the 25th. Yeah, definitely. And Ori said move on before he pre-orders it as well. Well, like we say, you get your name on the list, and you can pull out if you didn't want to go for it in the end. So there is that. If you, as me being a salesman for you there. But yeah, let's move forward. Steam Deck is ticked off. Very excited for it, and looking forward to get hands on with it and trying out some cool games, and seeing how they run, because it is a good spec in there considering it's a handheld. It's gonna do a good job, I think. They do say about 2 to 6 hours or something. Was it on the battery life? Was that right, Luke? Or was it maybe 2 to 8 or something really broad, like depending on the game?
I think it's 2 to 6 depending on the game.
Depending on the game.
Or it might have been 2 to 4. One of those two, but obviously you're more on it.
Depending on the game.
You're on the higher side if you've got an indie game.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
side if you've got Control. Or something.
Yeah, because that's the demanding game, isn't it? Control, definitely. I think that's why they've been trying something like that's on the screen of that actual picture, isn't it? Control. They've probably been showing those because they know they're quite demanding, and that's putting their strong foot forward or whatever. I guess being quite confident because they have a lot of people testing these out, like YouTubers who have actually gone to Valve and been able to get hands on and do proper in-depth tests on them. So yeah, they've been very open about it, Valve. So. I think that confidence is a good sign, and I think, definitely, hopefully it will come through in the end. But the results of the poll before we move forward, Defo getting one is 17%, cautiously excited but will wait is 75%, and don't fancy it is 8%. I guess that's Stubbs, that one.
Stubbs voted 5 times.
Yeah, with his soccer counts and that. Brilliant stuff, though, guys. That was a great little chat on the Steam Deck. And yeah, we're going to be moving on now to our most anticipated games of 2022, of which there are so many, and we probably won't mention them all because I will, have to get my spreadsheet out and bore you to death. There's so many, but we're going to try and mention as many as possible. And we've all got our own favourites, but yeah, maybe what we'll do maybe on this one is maybe go round, do a couple or 3 each time around, maybe, and come back around a few times. Shall we do something like that? What do you reckon?
Sounds good.
Yep. So 3 or 4 each time, or 3 each time, whatever it might be. But yeah, so there's so many games looking forward to this year. I've got a big list, and yeah, I think this year is going to be better than the 2021 year for sure. I can see it being amazing, especially if Silksong releases, of course. But even if it doesn't, I think it's still going to be an absolute banger, and it's going to be better than 2021. Definitely some amazing games on the way. Who would like first on this one out of you two guys? Out of interest, I don't know who I went to last time. Who's ready, poised for some reveals of their favourites? Lukey, baby, you ready? Would you like to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, shine us with some awesome games that are upcoming, my friend. Give us a couple, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
Yeah, so I think if you to ask me which out of everything we have confirmed for this year in the indie space is my most anticipated, I think I would probably say Somerville to a pretty significant amount, actually.
Nice.
That I don't even really like. It's hard to express the hype for that game because when it's, as we've gone over before, it's not by Playdead, it's by Dino Patty's new studio, which it's Jump Ship, isn't it? Which split off, and for those who don't know, Dino Patty was the co-founder of Playdead, and then they had a particularly bad fallout, apparently.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So he left and founded Jump Ship, and Playdead are still going, and they've been teasing their next project as well, which looks again incredible, and I can't wait for that. I think Dino Patty's been quite adamant that it's not just like a typical Playdead game like Limbo or Inside or anything like that, and that there are different elements. And he said it's quite hard to actually describe the type of game it is because it's not just that kind of action adventure on a 2D plane sort of thing that's going on. There's different elements.
It's actually 3D as well, isn't it? In this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean it's more like Inside, isn't it? That 2D, 3D thing. Although the camera angles change more significantly.
Yeah, so I was just thinking of actually Playdead's next game is actually 3D. That's what I was thinking of then. So this one is a bit more of the isn't it? 2.5D. Oh, actually, they are running forward on that element there, though. You're looking at the trailer. If you got it on your screen, they are running forward.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so the angles change in this game rather than just on the 2D plane. It's the same principle, but they're definitely mixing up a bit,
which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely, and it just looks awesome, right?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
and I just can't wait for it because Playdead's games have this big sense of intrigue. You don't quite know what's going on. You kind of know what's going on, but it's all very interpretive, and it's got really enjoyable gameplay. Nothing too complex, but really interesting. And then these amazing soundtracks and all of that wrapped up with the presentation. It just looks fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait for that. I really can't wait for it. I don't know if you want another.
Yeah, we could do another one. I just want to say I completely agree with everything you said. Somerville looks absolutely amazing. I've had looking forward for it ages, but the new trailer was so good. It just like really suspenseful, and music was really good in it, and just absolutely on board.
Game
with that.
Pass as well.
Yeah, and Game Pass. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is a great bonus because. Yeah, that's going to be an amazing game to experience for sure. Like you say, it's understated, isn't it, in a way? Like, you know what I mean? They don't try and get too in your face with their storytelling usually, and I imagine it's going to feel like that as well. And you kind of like intrigue based and like that, definitely a lot. Really good stuff. Yeah, so what would you like to go over next, my friend?
So I think I'll go over. I'll go over Stray next because that's pretty up there. I was hoping this would come out last year, but it was obviously delayed.
Yeah.
And this again kind of reminds me of Kena in that it looks realms above other independent games. It's really impressive visually.
Very, yeah.
And I think your mileage varies on this to some extent, depending on if you're a cat lover or not. But I am. So,
nice.
It's kind of that extra. It gives you that extra pull into the game, right? And I think the gameplay just looks so cool, and it seems to be like a kind of adventure puzzler with a bit of action. But I love, the aesthetics of the world in this are just really cool. It's got this kind of weird retro cyberpunk look where the world looks really advanced, but the robots that inhabit it are kind of old, like they're kind of quirky and different, and they kind of look a bit rudimentary. It's quite hard to describe, and I think that the way that they've captured animations for everything, but particularly the cat, it's so impressive. It's so impressive to watch.
It's super cool.
And I just can't wait to explore in that world, now that they've shown some gameplay as well, which looks phenomenal.
This is that gameplay that on the screen at the moment. That's the extended gameplay look, which I think looks amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've picked like the two biggest budget indie games there, basically.
I don't know about I don't know about Somerville. I mean, they've got a big player there with Dino. He probably has got a bit of dosh to pour in, but I mean, Stray. I don't know. Budget wise, I don't know where. But the team size is quite small with Somerville, isn't it? I suppose that's what I was thinking.
I think so. I think it's quite small for Stray as well. To be fair,
is it? Yeah.
But they look great. They look so good.
They both look really cool. Definitely, yeah. So it's going to be a lot of stealth, I reckon. Do you reckon with Stray, the gameplay-wise, stealth and sort of puzzle solving and stuff?
Yeah, and I think some mild platforming as well.
Yeah.
Some not too intense or anything like that, but heavy focus on puzzling and exploration. I mean that's how it'll work.
Yeah, sounds good. I think it looks really cool. I just love it. It's really different, and the contrast between the worlds of being a cat and also cyberpunk. Just beautiful lighting and everything going on in it as well. It's just looks lovely. Really nice. Definitely a good shout. No, that's all good. We've got plenty more to go through. So those two are a great place to start off for absolute sure. We'll come back round to you, my friend, if that's all right. We'll go to Judsy Baby next and see what you got for us, my friend. We've got so many to look forward to. I know you've got some up your sleeve, which you can't wait for. Where do you want to start?
I mean, absolutely. Those two picks. I mean, we were talking prior in our DMs, and we picked some of the same. Somerville and Stray looks amazing. When we saw Stray on one of the shows last year, I said, who wouldn't want to play a game as a cat with a backpack and a little drone thing you fly around?
I know.
And if you don't want to play it, you're fooling yourself, because you definitely do. It's just going to be awesome. I can see it now.
I know VJ would want to play it. I bet VJ loves his cats.
I love cats as well, and I just think it's as long as there's not too much kitty litter around the place, I think it's going to be good fun. But
yeah.
Yeah, so my first pick, my friend, is
Yep.
Trek to Yomi.
Oh, nice.
Which is coming out this year. We don't know when yet, I don't think. It's Flying Wild Hog of Shadow
Yep.
Warrior fame and Evil West. So Devolver Digital published again. And, you look at Devolver Digital and Annapurna. Oh, my word. There's just such an amazing amount of stuff that these guys are publishing.
I know, it's insane actually. I was pulling loads of trailers for this, right? And I was thinking I might as well just stay on the Devolver YouTube page and get them all, because there's so many that Devolver have got up their sleeve for this year. It's ridiculous.
It is. It's crazy. So this is basically coming on pretty much everything. I don't think it's coming on Switch, but it's PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Series consoles. This game is completely different as far as the aesthetic, and it's one of the things that really drew me to it. The samurai cinema and the monochromatic sort of visuals that they've got going on there, absolutely beautiful.
Really cool.
I'm not so sure about the premise of the story. It seems a little bit like Ghost of Tsushima. So
Right.
your village gets attacked, and
Yeah.
you play the character that sort of didn't do a particularly good job of defending the village, and you sort of go traveling for revenge and all that sort of stuff. But
Right.
to be fair, that's kind of what what these films and genres all about.
Yeah,
But just
exactly.
look at this gameplay. It's absolutely fantastic. Apparently there's going to be much like Ghost of Tsushima, there's going to be emphasis on timing, attacks and defense and parries and all that sort of stuff, and it just looks absolutely fantastic, pretty much like nothing else that we've really seen. Apart from that other game that's come in similar to the Inside genre. It's some White Clouds, I can't remember what it's called.
White Shadows, you say?
White Shadows,
Yeah.
Clouds. Clouds and shadows, basically the same thing, right? So, yeah, so this is one for me, which is a day one buy.
Me too.
Trek to Yomi. So
I know all
go
three
check
of us
that
are
one out.
excited. I think if we'd have gone back to Luke, he probably would have chosen this as well. We're all so excited for this one as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great choice, definitely. This trailer looks so good, man. But yeah, it's got that, like, when we first saw this, because we were watching the Devolver thing when this was first revealed together, weren't we? And when it came about, I was just like blown away by it at first. Because it really doesn't really look like a Devolver game-ish. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, I mean, it does in the way it's really cool.
I think it's kind of like the one thing I don't associate with Devolver games are like them being cinematic. And I think this is really cinematic.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like a Devolver game,
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
Because, definitely.
It looks amazing. And there aren't enough games in set in feudal Japan or Japan in general. Actually, I mean, there are a lot of Japanese games, Japanese devved games set in Japan, but we don't often get it. This kind of feudal / samurai Japan setting.
Yeah.
And Ghost of Tsushima was the only one in many years to do it. But if you've played that game and then you look at Trek to Yomi, like, it makes you super excited to play Trek to Yomi, because you're like, for me, I want more of that setting. It's incredible in Ghost of Tsushima, and obviously this is an indie game, so it's different, but it's got that kind of Kurosawa look to it, the classic Japanese cinema. It looks fantastic.
Definitely. No, that's a great shout. Great comments, buddy. Great takes from both of you guys. That's awesome. And Judzy, baby, what would be your next one after Trek to Yomi? I don't want to turn it off, really, because it looks so good, but you know what I mean? Can't wait for it. Yeah, look, there's so many that do. So this year is honestly going to blow 2021 away, in my opinion. I really think so. Yeah. Anyway, carry on, my friend.
No worries. So just to answer Scott's question in the chat, glad we brought this one to your attention, my friend. We don't have a release date apart from 2022, to my knowledge. So it's another one of those we're going to have to wait and see, unfortunately.
Yeah, give it a wish list on Steam just to keep an eye on it. Or do Xbox do wish listing? I don't even know. I think they might have tried to start doing it. Or...
It's not very good if they do. They have an add to favorites, I think, but it's
do they?
Yeah, it's a coming soon section, I believe, as well.
Right, but
I'm not sure how far out it is.
If you ever look on Steam, that's a good, reliable place to find out the date, and then as it's updated from there, give it a wish list and have it on your track. If you my man Scotty. Cool. Yeah. So sorry, where you go next, buddy?
Yeah, no problem at all. So my second one, I don't know if you got the trailer for this, is Atomic Heart.
I don't actually have the trailer for this one, I'm afraid. We're going to have to really, really vividly portray it with some nice words.
Or it might be the wrong place. So,
I'll try and pull it maybe though if I can.
Yeah, no worries. So I'll give a brief description. So Luke was saying about some of the games that we're looking at as got amazing production values. This game, for an indie title, again, amazing production values. It's developed by a Russian studio called Mundfish. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but there you go. It's an open world RPG, action RPG, and much like see, my memory goes again. Is it Industria or
Industria? That's it. Yeah. Yeah. No, both of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking Industria more though, because I remember us watching that one together with Industria. Yeah.
So that setting is very similar. It's an alternate universe where the Soviets basically are still in power, and there's been an error with the local facilities robots, and they start attacking humans, etc. And you have to obviously stop this and find out what's going on before it spreads, basically across the world. But honestly, if you haven't seen this game, and if Indy can't find a trailer,
it's on the screen right now. So we're there. Yeah. Luckily, it's just coming to save you.
Just coming to save me. Yeah.
It's all good. You're doing fine.
When you see this trailer again, talk about production values and the weirdness of it. I mean, just look at this opening. It's absolutely crazy. It looks absolutely fantastic. And again, I believe this is coming to Game Pass. I believe it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
I think this is one of the Xbox shows or one of the shows they showed it. But just look at this thing. It looks absolutely awesome.
I think it was on one of the reels, wasn't it, for Game Pass? Sorry to cut you off there. I think it was on one of those sizzle reels. Yeah. So, but sorry, you could say puzzles, weren't you? Sorry.
Yeah, I think there's a limited amount of puzzle solving. It's not, like a typical sort of puzzle to. That person scares me, by the way. Is it a plunger, or I'm not sure if it's a plunger or some sort of alternate universe golf club, but it scares me. So does that do, to be fair, crash test dummy. But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It looks absolutely crazy, and that's one of the things I think that's a big appeal. And again, even though it's got mad production values, it's another one of these indie games that's pushing, the typical sort of genres where you think of an open world RPG. Well, look at this. This is probably nothing like you've seen before. So this would be my second pick, indie, and I hope everyone in the chat's looking forward to this one as well.
Good stuff, my friend. That is awesome. Yep, good stuff. So one of you guys, if you could grab a couple or one each, maybe, and I'll come back for a couple then, because I'm just going to have to re-clean up what I've just done there. And then I'll be back.
Just done? You need to
it sounds like I've done a naughty on the floor. Gonna have to brush that. What's going on?
Luke, so please say some words while Indy cleans himself up.
No, so basically, hit me with one more, Jadzy baby, and then I'll get our screen back to order. If that's all right. Hit me with
all right,
one.
my friend. I can certainly do that. I will hit you with an obvious one, which is coming out on Tuesday, and this is, of course, Sifu. So this is PlayStation 4, 5, and PC, coming out February the 8th. Obviously, I said next week. That's Tuesday. It's had some we said this word earlier.
Divisive.
Thank you. We had some divisive reviews and previews for this game. I've been extremely excited about it since I first saw it. The premise of it was extremely interesting. It's a very different way to handle the genre. But yeah, it's another sort of who doesn't know about Sifu? Basically, you do kung fu, and each round, you at the end when you die, you come back and you're slightly stronger, and that sort of thing. But yeah, very stylish looking game again. It's another game that's very big on the mechanics. So the actual fighting, it isn't just mashing buttons. Again, there's timing involved. There's special moves involved that you can do. And here it is on the screen. It looks absolutely mega. So I'm still really excited about this. I will be picking it up.
Nice.
I'm going to see some more reviews. I've seen a couple of reviews right now, but I'm going to see some more. But yeah, I think this one, I think this is going to do really well, really well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I've heard, obviously, is, which I like, by the way, personally, is that, you know, it's very much a roguelike, and it's very, very challenging, which is good. I like that. The mechanic of when you die, you grow older and stuff like that. I think it's when you die, but you grow older as when you fail or you get knocked down. That's maybe right, it is, which I think is amazing.
It's a great approach, isn't it? It's
yeah, because I've watched a couple of reviews where there's, you know, they were saying, you know, it's gonna make their audience smaller by being, you know, it making it so hard. Because I've heard, you know, people who've played really hard games usually, and they said it's still hard, even like they've beaten Sekiro. I think that was Joe actually from the Trophy Room who said that. So, but I think he's going to get through. I think he's just still quite early on in. And I was watching Ains as well, who's finished it and done a review, which was awesome. Their review they've done together. But yeah, just if you know, if you don't like a challenge, it's probably not. I'm not saying this to you, Judge. I'm saying this to general people. You know, it's not. I quite like a challenge, but you know, sometimes it can be. Some people, they don't want that in a game. So I think that, don't think I say that is because you think it's going to do really well. I hope it does really well is what I'm trying to say. Because like sometimes when, you know, I'm really glad what am I trying to say here? I'm really glad they went down the vision and the route they wanted to go. They didn't sort of make it too easy and make it too wishy-washy just to appeal to a larger audience. And I'm glad that they've gone for a you know, with their vision to make it that tough thing where it is like martial arts, where you do, you know, fail and then you get stronger and stuff like that. I think it sounds cool for that. It only makes it more exciting to me, but I think it will alienate the audience a little bit, I suppose, but you'll grow a bigger audience based on what they've got, if you see what I mean. So it will make it kind of a cult sort of, you know, die-hard audience, if you see what I mean. But I hope it does really well, and I think the reviews are doing well, aren't they? I mean, Luke, you had a look at the reviews as well, didn't you, buddy? And you've been keeping an eye on it a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, and it has had divisive reviews for that reason, you know. And yeah, I think your mileage is going to vary with it. You know, as you say, it's. I think if you go in with your eyes open that this is going to be really difficult, you may enjoy it more. But you know, sometimes I think people have weird expectations about that kind of stuff, and Returnal was like this, where you know people. Some people, not many, but some people were, you know, chastising it because it is really difficult. Yeah. But that it's a part of the game. It's part of the design. You know, it's not meant to be an easy game.
That's exactly it.
And you know, I think that the difference is, I get, with this, it was never immediately apparent that it was going to be really difficult from, you know, all the trailers and stuff like that. It just looked like a, you know, a really cool action game, but obviously with roguelike elements. But nowadays, having roguelike elements usually coincides with some higher level of difficulty anyway. You know, you very rarely play a roguelike game that's easy, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be as enjoyable for me, but also it wouldn't last very long.
Exactly.
Like, you'd just be done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I saw some things. I watched Skillup's review, and I saw a couple of things on Twitter of people, you know, lambasting it as well, because there's basically 5 levels.
That's it, yeah.
And I think you could apparently, you know, you could probably get through them if you knew what you were doing from the start. You could get through them in half an hour each, so kind of 2.5 hours, and people were, you know, weirdly having a go because it's only 2.5 hours long, right? But of course, when you, it's not, you know, it takes like 10 to 15 hours to do a run through this, because obviously it's difficult. And any roguelike, once you know, like we've all played Hades, right?
Exactly.
I don't know if you have, Judd, but you know, my first run of Hades took me God knows how long it took. Hours and hours and hours. My second run took me about 1 hour, if that. Right. Because what you know, you know what you're doing, and it's the same. It's the same with any roguelike. You know, the first run through to the end takes a long time. That takes up the bulky playtime. So, I think, you know, just have a look at it. I think look at some reviews and see if you want to pick it up. I'll be picking it up because I think it looks awesome, and the release date is the the difficulties are positive for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
it's like that's something that attracts me to the game, not that puts me off. So I'll be getting it. I am tempted to get it tonight, maybe on the
yeah.
on
I'm
the
actually
digital deluxe edition, which gives you early access. So looking at this trailer again, I'm kind of like, ooh, I could play that tonight.
nice. Yeah, it does look really cool, and I like that about it, that it's got that challenge there. And yeah, that's the nature of the beast at the end of the day, for definite. Yeah. That's well said. Good stuff. Okay, and yes, so maybe I'll hit you guys with one of my cheeky ones now. I mean, these are all ones I think we've all been on the same page anyway, but excuse me, I'm not choking on my answer there, don't worry.
We don't need to know what you're choking on. You carry on.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to go with this one then. Let's do it. So I'm going to start off my little list of games. So I'll start with one, and that is Have a Nice Death, which is actually releasing in early access, not full release quite yet, but in early access on the 1st of March, I think it is, which is really exciting, which is not very long away. If you haven't seen this game, it looks amazing. It's another roguelike, funnily enough, but I just think the animations are so smooth, the drawings are so nicely done. I love the art style, the way it's kind of like black and white, but with like a tint of color over it, if you know what I mean, which gives it like really quite a unique look. And yeah, like animations, like I say, amazing, but gameplay looks really cool and like quite fast paced, and yeah, very much right up my street, and looking forward to diving into this one. It's kind of got a bit of the vibe of same as Death's Door, where you play as like the Grim Reaper sort of style character, where you working for the agency, which is Death. I think you're called Death or something or rather. But yeah, you're kind of like going through the motions in a similar way that you do to in Death's Door, I think. But it's definitely got a different feel to Death's Door itself. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. And for some reason, just lost the trailer. But yeah, definitely up to Have a Nice Death. It actually was announced quite recently. It was shown on the Game Awards again recently too. I thought it was awesome to see it on that stage. And yeah, very excited for this particular game. Are you guys looking forward to this? Has it been something that's on your radar?
Yeah, for me, it looks pretty cool. It has a bit of a Hollow Knight vibe as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the color palette as well as some of the mechanics.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The
2D side-on thing and the kind of like dashing and stuff, I suppose. Yeah, it's maybe a bit quicker than Hollow Knight.
Yes.
But yeah, no, definitely I see what you mean. How about yourself, Luke? You up for some Have a Nice Death?
Yeah, it looks really cool. Again, it does look very Hollow Knight inspired. Not as much as other games that were announced in the past year.
Do you really think
it looks a bit?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that much Hollow Knight. That's interesting.
No, I think it clearly is, but I think you're absolutely right. It looks a lot quicker, a lot more twitchy, and the kind of animation cadence is a lot. There's a lot more frames to it, if that makes any sense in terms of animation.
It's a different style of animation for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's got a unique enough art style that it, even though it's familiar as something, kind of Hollow Knight inspired, it looks unique in its own right, if that makes any sense.
It's definitely a different style of game as well. It's a roguelike. It's not a retro vein or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that looks... it actually reminds me of... This will sound really weird, but it kind of reminds me of like Rayman Legends. If
really?
Was, darker.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that kind of cartoony, really kind of nice looking aesthetic, but just in a darker world, and that's a really good thing. So I actually think this looks really good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to be checking this one out on early access. I don't always do that, but I'm definitely up for it on this one. So yeah, I'm going to jump into that on Steam. Early access on Steam. Ori M&A, I'm not sure if it's M&A how I pronounce that, but I'm going to say it that way. Ori anyway, says, do I know what's happening with a new The Distant Light release? It's actually released in early access already, so you can actually play it now, but it's the full release I think is going to be this year. That's what I've been able to glean. You can join Discord if you wanted to do that to keep an eye on things. There is actually a link in the interview that we did with them back in the day. I can't even remember when that was, but if you search for a new The Distant Light interview on my channel, and then there'll be a link in that video for the Discord to join if you wanted to join the new Distant Light, to keep an eye on that way. But yeah, if you also can wishlist on Steam as well, you can keep an eye on the release there. But I think what they're aiming for is the full game to be out this year. Not too sure about a specific date though, but I hope that helps. But yes, let's go for one more, shall we? Actually, I might queue one up for one of you guys, maybe, because I know I'm going to queue one up for Luke, if that's all right. Are you ready for this, my friend? You're going to have to talk about whatever game it is, even if you hate it. It's definitely one that you're looking forward to. It is A Cult of the Lamb, my friend. I know you've picked this one out.
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh God, I'm glad that was one I actually knew about.
No, especially for you, buddy.
Thank you. It's very generous. I think I can't remember when this one was announced. It wasn't that long ago. Was it Gamescom or?
I think it was actually.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was, because I think this was Gamescom trailer actually that I got.
And it just looked. I mean, it's basically quite a hard game to describe. I think it's not like I think you see the art style and then you see the gameplay, and it's like this kind of blend of different things. But it's sort of I think you're a possessed lamb, basically.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
you've literally got to just like build a cult. I think there's an overarching Animal Crossing style element to it, where you're kind of building up your cult, and you've got an area, you build up structures, and kind of gives you bonuses,
cool.
sort of thing. And then you go into, like, it's basically quest driven, so you go into quests in different regions to advance the story, get more resources, get more followers, and then it becomes almost like a dungeon crawler from that as well. So it's super cool. Like, I mean, you can see it on the screen. It's so weird.
Amazing, yeah. It looks...
And I love that about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. It's another roguelike as well, isn't it? Is that right, or am I wrong on that?
I don't know if it's got roguelike elements. I think I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I think it's procedurally generated, but only in regions that you come across. So if you go out and go do a mission, that may elements of that might be procedurally generated, like the map or the dungeon within the map.
Right, I got it. Yeah,
but I don't think it's roguelike.
Cool.
So it's a little different, but
nice.
It looks awesome.
Yeah,
art style's just amazing. Absolutely amazing, and just a weird mashup of cute and evil in the same thing. It's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it sure is. I can't wait for it, to be honest. It's another Devolver game as well, isn't it, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They just don't miss.
They really don't. No, absolutely. I'm going to set this one up for Juds, as I've done it to Luke. It's only fair I'll do it to you as well. A surprise one, Judsy baby, if you're ready. I know it's one you have popped it on your games that you're looking forward to. So I'm going to queue up for you some Weird West, my friend.
Weird West, yes. So this one's actually coming out end of March this year, which is nice. We've got a decent release date. PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Yeah, well, what can you say about this? RPG, and it's actually by Wolfeye Studios.
Yeah.
And I think they were formed from some of the ex-Bethesda devs that worked on Prey and Dishonored.
Oh, yeah, I remember them saying that, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah, it's one of those games that there's dialogues and there's decisions and stuff to be made, and what they're claiming that the decisions will make a difference as you progress through it.
Nice.
And you jump to different characters and stuff, and then it all sort of comes together at the end where the story sort of what's the word, culminates, I guess, with all the characters and the decisions that you've made throughout. So yeah, I think it's going to be very cool. It's another one of those. I don't know. Is it called isometric? It's
isometric. Yeah.
Kind of
I would say, yeah.
there. Yeah, but it looks pretty deep as well. I mean,
Although-
there's you know, the inventory system and all the stuff that you have to do. It's not just a case of running around and shooting things like an Ascent type style. There are actually proper RPG mechanics in here.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard you can like stealth it or go guns blazing on it as well as or different options, and it's like you say, like you can sort of be a different person essentially, like with the RPG elements or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the good thing about, you know, the different characters you can play for it. Like you say, different ways to approach it. I've got a mind to play this just like a crazy man. Kick ass.
Love it. Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, it looks great.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Good shout. Lovely stuff. So maybe what we'll do, I'm gonna quickly pop on one that I know you guys haven't got on your list, so that way I'll just do one of mine, and then I'm gonna hit you up for 3 each if that's all right. We'll do like 3 in a row, if that's all right with you guys. I'm just going to do one of my ones now, which is called Islets. I'm not sure if anyone will actually have seen this one, but it's a Metroidvania. Definitely, okay, this one Luke will definitely call this out for having a bit of an influence from Hollow Knight, but it's got a very different art style, colourful wise. But yeah, this boss here that I'm talking over right now, I can see that's straight out of a Hollow Knight sort of vibe, which I like it about it. I'm totally cool with it. I know Luke doesn't like it when games are quite similar, so he might slate it. But no, personally, I'm totally cool with it. I'm like, okay, the inspiration factor, and it's like I say, this is colourful as anything. This is like quite bright and all that good stuff, but it's definitely got those fundamentals there, which I think is really cool actually in general. Like, I quite like that now we're seeing a lot of inspiration from indie games to indie game, because previously maybe we were seeing the start of the indie game world was, you know, quite in its infancy, and we were seeing, you know, them finding the way. Now we are seeing definitely inspiration from other big indie games that have done well, and I don't mind that too much, because I think, you know, I love, you know, the old Hollow Knight and all the good ones and stuff. If they take inspiration from it, that can only mean good things for me. Obviously I agree with Luke if it's too close to the bone or whatever, it's too similar, but I feel like this one definitely has its own identity. It's got a cool vibe to it, and I love a Metroidvania, as you all know. And yeah, I think this one looks really, really cool. It's got those fundamentals, like I say, bosses and you know, like the dash and all those kind of mechanics and stuff, which I think look really cool. But I just wanted to shout out Islets, because I don't think many people know about this one. And yeah, give this one a follow. It's spelled Islets. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, Islets. I think it means small island or something. But there we go. Islets. Give it a check out, guys. It looks really cool in my opinion. Don't know if you guys have seen this one before. Have you, just out of interest?
I seem to remember it from one of the shows we did, but no.
No worries. I think I saw it on Twitter actually, to be fair. I think that's where I first caught eye of it, but don't know what you guys think. But yeah, Metroidvania, I do love them. Yeah, it looks cool in my opinion. So yeah, let's go with Luke first. You want to hit me with 3, and maybe your last 3. So, and then we'll do Judd's last 3, and then I'll do maybe 1 or something like that, and then we'll be all good. How about that, my friend? Have you got 3 for me that you'd like to go over?
Oh, I don't know if I've got 3.
No worries. Whatever you've got, my friend. Whatever you've got is all good to finish off.
I'll give you 1 good one, which I hope comes out this year. In fact, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2.
So generous.
Because I'm very generous.
Actually,
so,
I know one you haven't spoke about yet that I think you'd want to talk about, but let's just go with what you go with, and then I'll see if I could tell you if you've missed anything.
Yeah. So first one is actually coming out soon, I think early March, which is Shadow Warrior 3.
Hell yeah.
Which just looks fantastic. Again, blurring that line between, you know, production-wise, AAA and indie.
So so
looks
much
amazing. They're going back to, I think Shadow Warrior 2 is a bit of a disappointment.
Right.
Because it kind of went into a procedural generation kind of avenue.
Yep.
And I think with games that are based on, you know, that kind of balls to the wall FPS action, I don't think that really works very well, because you you know, one of the brilliant things about the first Shadow Warrior was the level design, which was completely abandoned in the second one.
Sure.
With this one, they're going back to the first, so it's proper, cool. You know, fully designed levels, meant to bring you into the world and the abilities that you have. So it's, you know, not dissimilar to the style of game that Doom is, or Doom Eternal. I think it's probably a level above Eternal in terms of, you know, mobility and wackiness and all that.
Yeah, it's got the cockpit comedy in there, hasn't it? Like, yeah. So it's kind of it's a really cool looking game. I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing that I don't, and I need to be sorry, we lost you a little bit there. Sorry.
Oh no, I should be here now.
So you botted out a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah, the only thing that I think I need to play it and hear it is the weapon feedback seems a little weak compared to something like Doom Eternal in the trailers, but I won't know until I play it, and I think that's actually quite an important thing. The feedback of weapons is, you know, in a game that's really based around shooting all the time, is quite important, but everything else looks amazing, and I need to see what it's actually like when I play it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, coming March 1st.
March 1st, that's right. Yeah, that's when it's out. That's it.
Yeah, really look forward to that. And then the other game I'll give you is Season, which hasn't... I don't think it's been it might have been confirmed for 2022. I can't remember. But I think everybody expects it to come out this year. And this is like... I mean, again, art style is sensational on this, right? It looks incredible, and it's basically about you are a photographer that visits places and cultures actually just before they're wiped out. So you get to kind of take, you know, a moment in time before it disappears, and you meet characters, and, you know, it's not... there's not really, from what I can see, action. It's very much kind of an adventure game.
It looks stunning.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know moment-to-moment gameplay other than, you know, taking pictures and stuff like that. But I think that's super unique. It's not something that's done very often.
Yep. No,
looks great. Looks great.
It does. Unfortunately, we haven't had anything new since this trailer, I don't believe. Is that right? I don't think there's been any updates.
I think that's right. No, I think that's right. And I think there were some murmurings that the studio was internally having trouble, not in terms of funding, but there was some kind of arguments going on.
Oh, really?
It's kind of pushed to the wayside a bit, yeah. So, something like that.
Well, hopefully it's going to be all right, because it's
I'm sure
special, isn't it? Yeah.
Because it looks really special.
Definitely. It's stunning, the visual style. I really like the concept of that as well. I'm a bit like Meisuko will love that, because he likes a relaxing game. So yeah, it's a great pick, buddy, for sure. Cannot wait. And really good, really good. Would you like me to tell you one more that you've picked from I can tap into your senses.
Yeah, go
if
for
you
it.
would like. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you were quite keen on Wizard with a Gun, if I'm not mistaken. If another one from Devolver, Wizard with a Gun.
Oh yes, I was. Yeah, no, this looks really cool. So this is the kind of has it got co-op? This one?
Yeah, I think it had 4 players, didn't it? Yeah, no, it's 4. I think it was up to 4. I think. Yeah, and you can be different styles of character, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this one is weird because it came out around that time of Cult of the Lamb, and this one was announced, I think. And sometimes I get confused between them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, again, really amazing, really cool art style for this, and it's kind of like this. I can see why you get confused.
Yeah,
it's even got a similar camera angle to a lot of Cult of the Eye, for example, Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
So, it looks really cool though, and totally agreed that this is on my list as well. Definitely. I don't really have too much to say about it.
No problem.
Look at the trailer because it looks really cool.
I think this trailer takes a lot of time to kick into gameplay, which is not helpful when you're trying to talk about it.
Still looks great though.
Yeah, it's stunning though, isn't it? Yeah, but there will be gameplay on this in a minute. But yeah, no, that is awesome, buddy. Any others that you wanted to mention, or you're all good for what you're looking forward to in 2022, or just your overall feelings about the rest of the year, kind of thing? Just looking forward to it, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, just looking for. I mean, indie games, AAA games. It should be a really big, really big year for gaming in general, I would think. And there's so much good stuff, scheduled to come out. So yeah, I mean, especially in the indie space, I think if a lot of these games that we're talking about hit in terms of, being standout games, it will be one of the strongest indie game years I think there's been for a long time.
Definitely, I can completely agree with that. That's a great shout, buddy. And Juds, my friend, have you got a few that you want to round up on? Any favourites that you definitely want to mention?
Absolutely, my friend.
Absolutely love it.
Well, this first one's going to be for one of the legends in our chat, for Meisuko. I'm sure he's interested in this, which I know he is, and that's Planet of Lana.
Oh yes, can't believe we haven't mentioned that yet. That's outrageous, isn't it? It's one of my favourites. This trailer, I would have definitely made sure that one that came up. But yeah, the great shout. Planet of Lana, though, this trailer, I'm just going to say this trailer, it was the Game Awards one, and it was goddamn amazing. So anyway, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, we're not sure. I don't think there's a release date yet. I think it's still to be confirmed, 22. Yeah. So this is coming out on PC and Xbox. I haven't seen it listed for PlayStation, but PC and Xbox. And again, just look at this game. So the reason I think Meisuko is going to be such taken with this game is the hand painted art style. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Definitely.
He plays this young girl, with which I can only describe as a cat with the curly tail.
Yeah.
He's got a companion. The year of the cat. I'm calling it a cat.
You're avoiding the word, are you? You're with the P.
Yes. Yeah, she's young, so I'm just going to say she has a cat.
I like it. It's probably safe.
Yeah, it's a safe bet. I don't know what that thing is she's riding on, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, you'll see. I think you'll see the the curly whirly in a minute. Yeah, I think he said it then.
But yeah, this looks absolutely beautiful. It's an action adventure. There's lots of exploration in it. Another Thunderfall game actually that we saw last year.
Exactly.
And one of the interesting things I found about this, on their website, they said, not everything's a fight.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting, because what we've seen of the gameplay, I don't know if they mean there's stealth sections or there's ways to get past some of the big monster bosses.
Yeah.
Like they don't involve an all-out assault sort of thing,
Exactly. Yeah, kind of like in can't remember what it's called now. No, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, you can sometimes maybe talk your way around it rather than fight, potentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's factions or something. I don't know. Would that be? Yeah, but stealth.
I reckon it's going to go more down the road of.
You can use your
tail. Do you know when you're stealthing through some of those sections behind walls and things?
Yeah.
There it is. There's the cat. You see.
Yeah, the cat. There we go. But yeah,
it's a cat.
That trailer that is amazing, and both of the trailers were amazing. But they're you should watch them if you haven't seen them, guys, because they're just beautifully put together, and the music in it really heightens it as well. It's amazing. But I think it's going to be I think it'll probably be one of the best of the year, in my opinion. One of the standout games. But yeah, great choice. Yeah, be interesting to see how it ends up. But everything about it looks stunning right now, doesn't it? So
absolutely,
great shout there. Anything else you would like to mention, my friend?
I'm gonna mention it because it's come up in the chat a couple of times, and just in case Foxy watches this afterwards, Tunic coming out March 16th, PC, Xbox.
Lovely, my friend. Good shout to mention that.
Yeah,
definitely.
We played this on trial, of course. Well, I played it on Xbox when it came. They did a demo, didn't they?
They did indeed. It's kind of surreal to have a release date for it now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's also
It's
quite.
another one.
It's also quite
Sorry,
surreal.
go
Sorry,
on.
just to mention, it's also quite surreal why the trailer is not a full 16:9 ratio on my screen right now.
It's the details that count, isn't it? To be fair. And
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with that guy. So there's a bit of the side of the trailer not there, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it looks wonderful. Judzy, baby. Back to you.
it looks wonderful. I love that depth of field effect. Isometric game again. I love the way that the wee fox there interacts with the environment, and going past those trees. That's never going to get old for me. Just knocking into them trees and seeing them bounce around. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's stunning.
But yeah, the depth of field effect, and all that. It just looks really, really cool. Lots of discovery. There is some elements. Other people say it reminds them a little bit of Death's Door. With the way the view is and the way you unlock things as you go.
Yep, I get that.
Again, a beautiful looking game, long awaited.
Long awaited indeed. Yep, and now we have the date of March 16th, isn't it? I believe.
March the 16th. That's correct.
It's not long. This March is crazily packed full of goodness.
Yeah, I thought February was bad, and March is getting up there now as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it is really. I think March will be even more rammed, to be honest. But yeah, it looks amazing. Tunic, definitely a good shout. And people mentioning that, like Flame, shout out to Flame in the chat, who I was mentioning earlier about Dreamscaper. He's mentioning about Tunic.
The other Foxy game I'll give an honourable mention to, and then I've got another one which is like one of my bigger choices. Well, I've got a couple actually, but I'll just get this out of the way. Endling.
Nice choice.
Remember that? The
Definitely.
Fox, yeah. Very nice. That's PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Where you have to basically, it's all about environmental devastation, isn't it? And you're basically a mother fox which has to care for the cubs. Watching I remember watching the trailer when we did one of the shows, and it's like, oh, it's a lot of responsibility. Those cubs are going to get run over.
Yeah, most definitely.
So if one of them dies, it'll be like, Lion King all over again. It's like the kid.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I quite like the way they're taking that though, with the survival element. It's sort of unusual for like a cutesy fox to have that sort of hard hitting sort of vibe. That's cool, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely. Excuse me, just going mad on the screen there. I totally lost the plot there.
You're not cleaning something up again, are you? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I was cleaning it up. You know it. Oh dear. So yeah, what was you were saving? Say you were saving your mainline ones for your final shout outs, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know if you got trailers for these. Either one will do, really. Little Devil Inside. PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and Xbox are going to come later after release.
Yep,
again, when you're talking about production values, this game looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it looks awesome, definitely. Unfortunately, I haven't got a trailer for that one. I forgot to get that one. Sorry, but yeah, it looks awesome, definitely. I don't know when that one's coming out actually, but there was a big gap, and then there was a trailer more recently, wasn't there? Which was cool to see it again.
Yeah, all they've got is winter at the minute, so Q4, I guess.
Yep, definitely.
October, November time, I should imagine.
That's cool.
And the other one was, well, there's just so many, but I should pick one more then that I think people should take a look at. Well, Shredders is coming out this month. That's a snowboarding game. Go and check that out. But the other one
that's a must. Shredders, like I can't wait for that one. Is that what day is Shredders coming out?
I haven't got a date for it. It's just February.
It's actually this month, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to.
Series X and S.
I'm gonna have to get on that, I think, because that looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I saw the I don't know if it's a trailer or whatever, some gameplay that you retweeted. It looks absolutely awesome.
The ones they've been putting out on Twitter have been like crazy. It just looks so good. Like I just don't understand how they've done it. Really, almost like it's not just me, is it? It looks so damn good. This is the older trailer as well. Like it's just like crazy. I think they've done amazing work.
It's funny, between this and the stylized skateboarding game that I can never remember the name of because I've got a memory of a goldfish.
Ollie Ollie World, is it? Or
no, that's another good show.
That's also coming out. Yeah, yeah. There's so many.
The one where you're kind of a transparent glass character running around.
Yeah, Skate Story. That is.
Gate Story. There you go.
Yeah, that looks awesome, man. That's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
That's being done by one guy, Sam Eng, and yeah, it's taken a while, obviously for good reason, obviously. You know what I mean? But like, yeah. So I'm hoping that'll. I don't even think it's got a Steam page yet, which is weird. He's put out quite a lot of Twitter content on it, but it looks so damn good.
I think it's going to be quite a wait for that one.
You still think it's going to be quite a while yet?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like you said, there's no real. There's only been like snippets of stuff coming out, and from what we've seen on the snippets, it's like, wow, that's amazing. But there's a whole game to build behind that, you know. So.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes they might just put out something which looks cool, but it's not really, a whole game, like you say at that time. Yeah. But yeah, no,
this looks so cool. Look at this, man. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, and it's Game Pass as well. So
is it? I didn't know that.
I just saw it on the screen actually. So Xbox Game Pass, yeah.
Awesome.
Which is awesome, yeah, definitely. Any others you want to mention, buddy, or are you all good?
I could go all night, couldn't I? That's what she said. Far changing tides is going to be my last one.
That's a good one. Good
I'll
pick.
leave that there.
Yeah, no,
yeah, I didn't play the original.
Right.
It's one that we saw on one of our shows we covered last year. And that's coming out on everything basically: Switch, PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox. But yeah, it puzzle solving, and it's moved from the desert apparently into the sea. You can go underwater. It looks really cool, to be honest with you. The aesthetic of it looks really good, and it's a sort of game like one of those wholesome games. For me, you know, there's no mad pressure unless you end up drowning, then you have to plug a hole or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got like inside feel, like
yes.
It feels like that, doesn't it? It's got that sort of like desaturated, kind of like, like minimalist desaturated look to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
desolate.
Looks very nice.
But yeah, it looks really good, and yeah, I haven't actually played the first one, but it's by Mixed Vision, who are the Juggler's Tale people, and also other games which I've played on the channel, which I'm forgetting now. Minute of Islands, remember that one?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, they do like these kind of story games. This one actually feels a bit like Minute of Islands kind of feel to it. So I might have to try and hit them up and see if I can get some sort of review code on this one or something.
And this one comes March 1st.
Yes, that's right. I saw how many games are coming March 1st.
It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy.
That is insane. That day is going to be like buffet. Take your pick. Where you know what I mean? How is it going to happen? I mean, you've got like you've got what do you call it? We just talked about Shadow Warrior on March the 1st. This one there was like 3 or 4 on that day, I think. Oh, crazy. But yeah, so many games to look forward to. And let me just double check favorite match today. Actually, there's one we have to mention. I think everyone else here is really looking forward to it, if you don't mind, which is Midnight Fight Express. I don't know if you guys you're on the same page on it. Yeah, cool. This one looks amazing. It's basically like Sifu, but I think it's more brawler based, if you know what I mean. It's more like fun based, without not saying that Sifu isn't going to be fun, but Sifu is a bit more like hardcore. Maybe this is more about like
it's more
arcadey. Yeah, that's it. You pick up like stuff and throw it at people, and it's just, I think there's not going to be like roguelike thing going on in this. I think it's going to be more just sort of like having a blast basically. But yes, different approach. Obviously both work great, but I just think this looks amazing by one guy. This game is, which is absolutely amazing.
So impressive, man.
Yeah, it's Jacob Dwindle or something it is. But yeah, like it's motion captured as well, which is really cool. Even though it's not close up, it's motion captured, and I think that's gives it a little extra edge when you see the fight moves and stuff. I just think I know Meisuko's excited for this one as well. I've spoken to him about this one, but yeah, definitely one of my most anticipated, and it's also coming this year. I think it says Q2 this year, I think it was. So very much looking forward to this game for sure. But yeah, like as everyone can tell, we could go on forever, and there's so many. But we should probably stop there, because I imagine you guys need to wind things up there. But yeah, most definitely more could be mentioned. But like, I'll just shout out just the names. Got obviously like replaced. We've got potentially Harold Halibut, potentially maybe Silk Song, Slope Crashers as well, which is a game I've seen recently, which is like a fun sort of like sort of also almost like Mario Kart, but you're going down like sort of like, it's almost like Diddy Kong Racing in the snow levels and that. But yeah, it's a fun game. Slope Crushers looks anyway. Let's just check if there's any we've missed off of this list. I think we've done a pretty good job, actually. You got Tunic soon. Tunic's in March, isn't it? But yeah, loads. Replaced looks really cool, though. That's coming to Game Pass. There's so many great games coming, guys. But yeah, I think we should wind it up there. It's been awesome to get back into the swing of things. It's been such a blast. And thank you massively to the chat who have come out and been amazing. Total legends in the chat tonight. You are all fantastic. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us and, you know, bringing the show back to life. I guess you could say bringing the the indies conversation back. Indie goodness, we love to say it. Absolutely, yeah. No, but like, it's, you know, obviously I love indie games, but I love, you know, you people is essentially, you know, the main thing about it. Being able to talk about it with you guys, that is what it's all about, and spreading the indie goodness around. And hopefully you saw something maybe you hadn't seen before and you're like, check it out, and, you know, you saw something that you'd love. But yeah, just hope you've enjoyed it in general, hanging out and having a nice time talking about cool indie games. And it's been fun, certainly from my point of view. I want to say a massive thank you to Judzilla and Luke Steele. You're legends, my friends. Always a pleasure hanging with you. Thank you so much, firstly, Judzy. Like I say, great to be back together chatting and talking about indie games, but also just hanging out as friends. Thank you for being part of it today. Where would you like to say people can find you, my friend?
No worries. Thank you very much, Indy. It's been an absolute pleasure again bringing this awesome show back and having these amazing people in the chat. It's so cool. It's like catching up with old friends. So that's been really nice. And I think we've also, you know, we've sold a few Steam Decks tonight, so we should get some commission.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, thanks very much, everybody. You can find me at Judzilla UK on Twitter and my YouTube channel. Yeah, go check it out. I do music. If you don't find something you like, let me know and I'll write something. So
do it, guys. You know you want to. Sounds good, buddy. Fantastic. Always a pleasure. And Luke, bro, as I say with Judd, just the same. Awesome hanging with you, bro. Very excited to be on the Steam Deck train with you. And now Judd's is too. But yeah, like, you know, looking forward to everything that's coming this year, and hopefully all of us will get to hang out at EGX if that all goes smoothly and everything. That'll be a damn fun thing to do. But yeah, very excited for that. And, you know, hopefully we can get as many people, you know, in the community to go down to EGX as well, and we can all hang out, etc. But yeah, thank you very much for being part of it. The show, my friend, it wouldn't be the same without you. Would you like to shout out where they can find you, bro?
Yeah, awesome as usual. Really enjoy this, and it's been so long since we've spoken about indie games as
Definitely.
well, so it's actually nice. There's like so much to actually talk about, both that's released and that's coming out, and yeah, chat been awesome. So yes, thank you very much. So yeah, follow me at Luke Steele 90 on Twitter. And then I'm also on Green Pass Gaming, which is now on 8 PM UK time every Thursday. So yes, come and join in the fun.
Yes, indeed. Green Pass Gaming now on the Thursday. We snuck into the slot today, essentially. Yes. I thought might as well take the opportunity. Well, excuse me. Basically, the regards to when we're going to be doing things is going to be kind of ad hoc. We're going to be deciding as and when is the date. So just keep an eye out, guys, for when we are going to be planning next show. We're going to keep it a bit more flexible, but we'll definitely be letting you know on Twitter. So follow all of us on Twitter, as has been on the bottom of the screen, as both of the guys have said. Follow myself as well, indie_game_01 on Twitter, and we'll definitely let you know when it's going to be happening for shows in the future. But thanks, Luke, for all those kind words, buddy. It's like awesome to be doing it with both you and Judd's this show. And once again, chat, you're all legends. Thank you very much for being here. A pleasure as always, and we will be back, and I promise it won't be a 3-month gap next time. We'll be back real soon. Like I say, give us a follow, and if you want to hit me up in the DMs about anything you want to see on the channel, let me know, or you can join the Discord. All these links are down below. But yeah, once again, guys, all legends, thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you again back on the channel, potentially for the next podcast. It'll be maybe, I don't know, in a month's time, and then I'll be doing something in between, I'm sure, with maybe some game streaming gaming or maybe something else maybe. But yeah, just let us know what you'd like, and you know, we'll work out what's going to happen next, but we'll be posting about it when we do. But thanks again, guys. Have a great rest of your day or whatever it is, wherever you are, and we'll see you again on the next one. Take care, guys.